Hello, and welcome to Mysterium Hidden Signs. This is our second episode, so that means that we're going to learn lots of really interesting things. So get ready. So starting off, I always have to check my notes to see what it is I need to say. I have to find my words. Yes, let me tell you a little bit, if you are just joining us for the first time, Mysterium Hidden Signs is based on the board game Mysterium. So if you've played that board game, you may know a little bit about what I am talking about. If you have not, it is a bunch of psychics who go to do a seance to figure out who murdered this particular butler in this house, set in the 1920s in the height of the spiritualism movement. So that is what has inspired our story here today. And we are using the Savage Worlds system to do that. Swade, of course, the Adventure Edition, the new edition. So, real quick, let's go around and meet all of our lovely psychics here. So tell me your name, tell me who your character is. Just give me a brief little bit about them, and then we'll go back around and ask a few questions. We'll just start with you over here, Jordan.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Jordan Pridgen, and the character I'm playing today is Horace Duncombe III, who is a pendulum diviner, which means that he uses a pendulum and the way it moves to figure out yes/no questions, directional questions, things like that. But he also is a scholar and kind of an older war veteran who does not believe in all this supernatural nonsense. It's science that we don't fully understand yet. He believes in the study of the occult, and that the rest of this is hogwash. Hogwash!
Hogwash!
We have very clean hogs.
Well, I am Jessie Hendricks, and I am playing Miss Maggie. And Miss Maggie is an automatic writer. That is her psychic ability, which means she divines the spirits to move her hands and writes magical things or scientific things.
And also maybe pregnant, or that was just a joke, right?
Yeah. Yes, she is a little bit of a bad liar. A bit clumsy, but she's just really excited about everything, about this whole mission that's happening. And I think she's just excited to be out of the house, around people. Not like me at all. Jessie's not, whatever. I could be here or not. I'm so excited.
I get that.
She's so cool.
Nice. Hi, I'm Aabria Iyengar, and I'm playing Esme. Just Esme. She's a physical medium with one eye that barfs ectoplasm that turns into spirits, which is really cool and sexy. She's from across the pond in New Orleans, and she's here because she's a fan of some of the other mediums here. Media?
Medii?
That is plural for medium.
Yikes. I didn't know I
Media?
It's weird to say it that way.
Cool. We're the media now.
Yeah, you did it. You're fake news. Sorry, that was a bad joke, and I'm done.
I guess it's my turn. Hi, I'm Philip Rossi, and I'm playing the Great Vano. Vano is a half magician and half psychic, sort of in the vein of the great magicians of the 20s, like Houdini. And he is a crystal ball gazer, so he gazes into a crystal ball and tries to figure out what the message is. And the way we do it here on Mysterium is Meghan gives me a couple cards, and I really have to figure out what those images mean. So very unclear most of the time. Vano, what did I say? Did I say he was a magician? I did. He's a magician. And when he's not busy convincing people he's a magician, he's busy trying to seduce his way into being a magician.
Yes. He's a
It's the most powerful magic.
Yeah.
That is, I think that's how magicians work.
Yeah. Try to understand. He's a magic man, mama.
Anyway, so before let's first jump into a few things. So if you are new to our channel here, we are an independent channel, which means that we do not have any backers with lots of money who are helping us. It's just us, mostly volunteer work here. So if you like what you're seeing and you feel so inclined to tip, please do. And also, you get some extra fun things with that. There are unlocks. If you go to !unlocks in chat, follow that link, you can see all of the unlocks for tonight. There are some ones that I think are particularly fun, if I do say so for myself. Maybe I'm a bit biased. But anyway, you should check those out. You can also donate or tip, rather, for toasts or messages from the beyond. So if you would like to speak here to the psychics, speak through their spirit mediums, then please do so. And we do have a few... Oh, sorry, media. Right. You would think I would know this by now, right? I mean... Yes, so please do that. And also, if you don't want to tip or you can't, that is also okay. Please feel free to spread the word on social media. That is just as helpful, very, very helpful. You can use the hashtag MysteriumRPG on all social media accounts. And also, we post some fun things you can check out for that. Yes, so I want to go over one thing before we get into anything else. So last episode, we named a creature called Gullywug. But due to the accent and it being spread about the table and being pronounced here and there, it did potentially come across sounding as Gollywog, which, if some of you may or may not know, that is actually a particular character that is an old racist character that we do not want to bring up. So I wanted to put that out there because a wonderful fan out there brought this to my awareness, and I very much appreciate it, but we want to make sure that we do address that. That was very unintentional, so I do apologize if anyone misunderstood that or was offended. That was not our intention. So putting that out there, also now you have learned a little bit of information if you didn't know that, because I did not, so now I know.
Educational show.
It is a very educational show. Yes, so let's do this. There we go. And let's recap real quick what happened last time. So last time, our psychics here, they each had a dream. They actually shared a dream, which they did not know at the time. And some of these psychics didn't even really know each other before they came to this town, but they were all drawn to the town of Edenvale in England. And once they arrived, they found a town that seemed on edge, beginning with a funeral of a poor young boy, Andrew Abbott, who died what seemed quite a horrible death. And nobody knows what happened, but did seem to have been murdered in some way. The town has enforced a curfew. So after nightfall, no one is supposed to be out for everyone's safety, and generally people are following that. The psychics learned a little bit about the child and what happened to him. And then, help me out, guys. What else stood out to you in this most recent episode that came up?
I heard somebody climbed a fence.
A lot of it. Miss Maggie and I went to the florist shop and talked to Miss Dawson.
Yes, Miss
who had
Dawson.
taken ill recently, and she had, it seems, seen a woman walking, but she's very pale and sickly, and
A rash.
A rash.
Yeah,
about
she
her
does have a
face
rash.
and mouth. Yes.
And Miss Maggie decided the best way to convince the people to trust us is to go on a long charade about how we are married.
Getting married.
Getting married.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very
What
unclear.
brings us all together.
That did happen as well. Yes,
It
yes.
was an accident. It was a bit of a...
And we learned that Miss Mackey is pregnant, potentially.
Well, she's not, but maybe Miss Dawson might think that.
She might. She might indeed. Yes, that did happen.
Esme and I went up. Well, I got the voice kind of wrong there. Whatever. Esme and Horace Duncombe went up to try and investigate the strange house on the hill that people said was someone who had lived around the house for a long time. And
Mr. Smith.
yes, Mr. Smith. And despite it not being him clearly not wanting visitors, they tried to break in and had a little bit of an encounter with him and his dogs.
And the police, I believe.
And the police, the
one
constabulary.
Yeah.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Right. And
Yes.
when we returned back to our hotel, we were forced to stay indoors and caused a bit of a row.
Yeah. And then
indeed.
we were attacked by flying
Flying book.
flying
Flying
furniture.
books and chandeliers
Yeah.
and a bookcase.
Which at this point is old hat for people in our profession.
Of course.
Yes, and then you all went to sleep and everything was fine.
Yeah. We probably got up and went home.
No, actually, something happened to
That's-
the Great Bono.
That's right. In the middle of the night, Bono heard a noise, went out maybe it was a little hot, went out to the window to check it, and across the way, down the street of the small village, she saw a woman in white, which matched the description of the women in our dreams. And as Bono looked at her, she looked at him, and he was stricken with fear and screamed out. And when the rest of our party came to check on Bono, he was on the floor face down.
He was. And another thing that Bono saw when he saw this woman is she was going into a house. So that is what happened last time on our first episode of Mysterium Hidden Signs. Now what I would like to do is go around and just let's discuss what you all think maybe is happening now. And let's go over all of the bits of information you have. We did that a little bit, but if there's anything you felt like you missed, we'll just go around. We'll start over here. If you don't have any thoughts, that's fine as well.
Well, if there's anything we found, are we doing this in character or are we doing it just as us?
It doesn't...
Do the voice.
Character then.
There's a great deal of things that could be the case in what is going on here. But I believe that there's some sort of miasmic fog that is coming throughout the town at the middle of the night, creating some sort of hallucinogenic effect on the people who are here, and perhaps leading one or two of them to, I don't know, try and murder each other. That might show why people have been so hostile to strangers coming into the town, while also proving what has made nighttime such a dangerous thing. We've seen that there's Mr. Burks, the innkeeper, Mr. Sweet, who was in town with us. Lots of new people who are, not many new people who are in town, but the new people who are in town are not welcomed. They are considered with suspicion. And everyone has a great amount of fear around them.
Anyone else have any thoughts?
I have a bit of suspicion about Mrs. Dawson. She seems to not be getting a lot of sleep lately. Very tired, very ill. A wealth of nightgowns, I might add. So it makes me suspicious that she could be this woman in white, unbeknownst to her, of course. But I am a little bit suspicious about this Mr. Smith. Nobody stays inside like that without getting out of the house and seeing some people. It is odd that nobody sees him, but nobody seems to mind. And of course, Mr. Sweet. He could sell his cars anywhere, but coming to Edenvale around this time, it doesn't quite make sense. We were drawn to this place. It makes me wonder if he was drawn here as well, but isn't quite saying anything about it yet. And of course, there was the attack. I do agree about the fog, though. Maybe creating some sort of hallucinogenic effect. Yes, I do like that in science.
It's all science if you look at it from the proper direction.
Well,
Quite opposite to that. I don't think that this is a scientific answer. I believe that that woman in white is real and true, and a woman scorned with great power, and is taking her vengeance out on the town that was probably, if nothing else, complicit in her destruction. I think we're gonna have to put her to rest and maybe get a little payback from these aloof gentlemen of this little village before we can allow her to move on and ourselves as well.
oh, I see. Do you think there was an improper group of gentlemen in this town that did her wrong?
Absolutely. Do you remember how standoffish even the bartender in Pub Eaton was? Everyone's very tight-lipped, and I think there's a reason for that.
Oh, there is that gossip lady. Maybe we should...
Yes, Miss Wells.
Yes, Mrs. Wells.
Mrs. Wells.
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, Vano is not sure about this. It does seem that this haunting of the town has happened recently. But I do not believe that it is by a member of the town, based on the strange smile of the woman in white, the cut that widens her mouth. We would have seen that on one of the townspeople.
And even if we were to believe the premise that a ghost would care about those who are still on Earth and want revenge, why would she want any revenge against a small child like Andrew Abbott?
I was
This is
going
a
to
good
say that.
point.
Why the child?
Revenge for maybe something her father did? Sorry, I have a lot of things to unpack about men. That's on me.
I completely understand.
Thank you, darling.
Yes. Things are
All right, so this is generally where you are at this point in time. So before we jump in, we have some messages from the beyond. So everyone, this time we will raise a glass as we do have all of our fancy, look how fancy and psychic these glasses are.
Shiny.
The first one is from Sayama Pirnkov. Roses are red, violets are blue. I couldn't think of a good toast for you. I like it. Thank you, Spirit from the
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you very much, Saima. The next one is from Vampire 54. Good. Finally time for some old-fashioned magic. Hey, wait a minute. This is an entirely different magic. Oh, well, let's see how progressive these psychics are. Very progressive? I guess we'll find out. Thank you. And cheers to you. Our next toast comes from the brave little Clinster. Y'all are doing great. Keep it up. Just take care of little Bono Jr.'s mom, and no one will be doomed for all eternity. Cheers. Thank you, Clint. Those were messages from the great beyond. So these are the things that your spirit medium finds very important for you to know. Take heed. We also have a few re-rolls for the table. So, the first one is from OFS Chem. That is one re-roll to the table. So that is for everyone.
Yeah, thanks.
The next one is from Owen Lean, and that one is specifically for St. George.
Yay!
St. George is the best of us.
I have stats for St. George now.
You do.
Yay.
PEG Jody sends one re-roll to the table.
Yay!
And
I have to imagine since it's Jody, it's actually for the table.
Oh yeah, literally for the table. Yes. Sayamath Pirnkot sends
Carolina
one
Game
re-roll to Jessie.
Thank you.
And
Hurrah!
brave little Clinster sends a re-roll to Jessie.
Hurrah!
All right, thank you all very much. If you do sub or even gift a sub, you can get a free re-roll for the table. Anyone here at the table, including me on this game, just so you know.
Nice.
All right. So I think it is time. I think we have covered everything we need to cover before we begin. I think it's time that we jump back into Edenvale. So let's go back to where we were, where we ended last. Well, no, you all ran into Vano's room. Oh, right, first. You guys, why didn't you tell me? What kind of medium spirit guides are you out there? We have to raise the lights first, obviously. Okay, ready? Everyone together. Here we go. And... yes.
Poppycock.
Very good. Very good.
There's a man over there who raises those lights. Science.
Just ruining everything. Well then. Yes. So we will go back now to Vano's room. You all have run in to make sure that to find out what's happened. You heard the scream. And Vano is laying face down on the floor. And you all go over to him and you, I assume, try to shake him awake? Try and see what's happened?
I grab the glass of water off of his nightstand and throw it on him.
Ah, good. This is good.
Yeah, at that point, I think that you do
Vano!
awake into that. But, Vano, you don't know what happened.
What happened?
What? Why are you all in my room?
You were lying on the ground like some sort of Frenchman.
Face down.
To be clear, you screamed.
First. No,
Okay.
there was a woman somewhere else
That does
in the
not sound like
hotel
you.
that screamed.
Oh, it wasn't him.
So as you all are having this conversation, you hear footsteps running up, and you turn around at the door, and Mr. Burns and Mr. Sweet come in, and they, is everything all right? Well, we heard a scream and thought,
Us too. Oh, my dear sweet love, to come back to us.
oh,
We've
Yes,
intruded.
yes.
you're all right.
I take another glass of water and just throw it on him.
Oh,
Yes, much. I am much better now. Thank you.
You can't hide our true love. And she's. Esme's gonna run and wrap her arms around Vano. She's like, I know that your wedding is in not but a fortnight, but you can't keep true love apart. You hussy.
it appears that we have interrupted something So sorry, did not understand. Mr. Burns has kind of started to leave, and this is sweet, and he's just like, I just wanted to make sure everyone was all right. Seems like you're perfectly fine. If you need help, I'm the only other guest. You've got it covered, and he kind of
If it
backs.
weren't for my broken heart.
Oh, so sorry.
Hussy.
And he just kind
Hussy.
he kind of backs out of the room at this point.
I see we've added layers of added drama to this farce.
Yes, quite too many.
Hussy. Sorry, I just enjoyed it.
It's a good word.
Right?
Vano, what came over you?
I do not know. Do I remember anything about? Okay. I think perhaps I just had a dream. Sometimes I dream of great magic, and then when I wake, I've forgotten them.
Okay,
Did
but you were
anybody else?
face down.
Oh. Did anybody else have a dream? I was just thinking because maybe we had a shared dream, but I don't remember one myself.
No.
Now it's
can't
downstairs
say.
cleaning up.
I spend most of my nights sitting in my room fuming over the fact that we are not allowed out of this damnable inn.
I see.
You know, we could just go out the window, right?
Well,
We could
yes,
very easily go out the window.
That's
but
fine.
a proper Englishman is not seen climbing out of a window in the middle of the night.
Well, luckily, I am not English.
Or proper.
Where's
that what you
where's
were
that
trying to
vigor
do?
you were talking about?
There's vigor and then there's propriety.
Yes, I'm sure you looked very proper climbing that fence.
Yes, well,
All right. So at this point, it is pretty close to morning, as far as you can tell. It's still night. You might be able to get a few more hours of sleep in before morning comes if you do want to do that.
I say we investigate.
Yes.
All right. Well, before you do that, I need you to make a spirit roll at a minus. Or wait, let me see if it needs to be a minus, but it needs to be a spirit roll nonetheless.
Before deciding to go back to bed or not, do we feel rested enough that we would be able to not be fatigued if we
Not
went
quite. I think you would need just a little bit longer. Just a spirit roll.
10.
10.
Nice.
Would you like to keep that? Because it is opposed.
I would like to keep that.
All right.
Megan got a 40.
I got a 40. I don't know why.
Well, I think it. Yes, I do agree that we should investigate Miss Maggie, but perhaps after Vano has had his full night's sleep.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I could use another hour or two.
Not to mention St. George is on something of a strict schedule as far as sleeping and waking and exercising and all, and if I were to wake him up too early, he would be entirely off of it, falling asleep midday.
I understand. I don't want to be too puffy either.
Yes, he doesn't quite have the puppy-like vigor he once did.
So you all are going to go back to sleep for... okay. So you
Sure.
all head back to your rooms to get the last few hours of sleep. Before we continue, I want to make sure that we say thank you to everyone here. Where did we begin, Dom? Because I believe... Wraithwood was the last I saw, but I don't know if that was today.
PG Jody.
Ah! Well then, thank you, PEG Jody, for yourself. We basically already said that, but we'll say it again. Thank you, Simoth Bjornkoth, the brave little Clinster, for your resubs as well.
Thank
and
you
thank
all.
you, SF Giants 49er, for your
Yay.
bits. Thank you very much. All right, so you all go back to sleep. And then all of a sudden you hear a commotion. Whenever you all shoot awake, it's a commotion downstairs. It sounds like there are some people downstairs. And as you wake up, you can tell that now morning has broken. But you can't quite hear what's being said downstairs.
I will start to assemble my attire for the day.
Okay.
I'm gonna go down in
Take some
an
time.
oversized silk robe
Okay.
and a snake.
All right. So, perfect. So you're the first one down then.
Yeah.
Okay. You see a few men downstairs. Two of them appear to be policemen. And there's another man that you don't recognize. And they are arguing with the innkeeper. And they are saying, well, we must talk to them right now, sir. We must. And it looks over at you and the other policeman, one of the policemen there you recognize. It is the constable that you saw before. And he turns around and he kind of does this and he taps the other man who looks maybe like that the other man is in charge and says, there, she was one of the ones that climbed Mr. Smith's fence, right there.
Sir, it is entirely too early and I am entirely too undressed for this kind of accusation. Allow me to go change and face these wild, baseless claims like a lady.
I saw her with my own eyes. The other man says, all right, yes, I'm sure that you did, Larson, but let's let her dress first, and then we will discuss it. Please, what was your name?
Esme.
Miss Esme, feel free to dress. We do have some questions for you. It is quite dire, so please, and your companions as well, if you could bring them downstairs.
Absolutely. If you could just have some tea and maybe a light breakfast ready, thank you. She sneaks back upstairs and goes, y'all, we are in trouble.
I'm gonna
Knocking on doors. Hey, kids.
What seems to be the matter?
The police are downstairs. Constables are downstairs. And they remember us. Also, I think they're mad about new things, too. So it's gonna be a day. Gird your loins.
Many people tend to remember Van, so this is not strange.
I'm not worried.
well,
I think it'll work out.
I find the bobbies tend to have a more reasonable view when you talk to them with a good amount of authority.
Yeah, they're probably mostly gonna yell at you, what with the climbing and then the yelling at
Yes, well, I'm
innkeeper.
quite ready to yell back at them. And the innkeeper damn well had it coming.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying.
In fact, I may have a word for them about his behavior.
Why don't I go first, and I can say hello. I'm so used to types of many angry men and diffusing situations.
So you're gonna head downstairs?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll just pop down and see what they.
All right.
So as you go down, there's another man that is with these two police officers, and you recognize him. It's the florist. And as soon as he sees you, he looks very upset and he says, she was one that was there. She saw Lisa last as well. And so the inspector, the man who seems to be in charge, turns to you and he says, all right. And he turns around to the florist and says, it's all right, just calm down. We need to keep our heads. Miss, what is your name?
Miss Maggie. Is dear Lisa all right?
I'm afraid not. She has died in the night. That's actually why we were here to speak with you, as he here says that you were one of the last to see
I
her.
heard Mr. Dawson, I'm so incredibly sorry for your loss. I know she was ill. You didn't tell me she was that ill, although she was looking a bit sickly. Of course, you don't say these things. The rash, that you think it took over her, the fever in the night.
But you're the only ones here that I don't recognize, so I think that you must have done something to her, because she was clearly murdered. No one just loses their head like that. Mr. Dawson, I'm going to need you to calm down, or I will have to ask you to leave.
We weren't even allowed to leave all night. How dare you?
How
Just because
dare
you
I?
don't know me, you don't know us, so you're accusing us of murder just because we're strangers. How bigoted is this town?
So at this point, the man in charge says, all right, I think at this point I have not introduced myself, so I should do that first. I apologize. My name is Irving Ward. I'm the inspector here in town. Mr. Dawson, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. And he kind of pushes back a little bit, but he does step outside. I apologize for that. As you can tell, he's very upset. It is a small town, and folks around here have a bit of a rough time with strangers, especially at a time like this one, in which we have lost a few people to very gruesome deaths.
Gruesome? Was it not illness that took her?
Well, it appears that her head was severed. So I do not think so. There's no illness I have ever heard of.
I imagine we're at least like
Yeah.
right up the stairs from
So
this,
you were
right?
coming down
Yeah.
at this point?
Yes.
I didn't change.
Oh, is this the rest of your companions then? And the constable goes, oh yeah, that's the other one. And he turns around and says,
I don't
"All
believe
right,
it'd be
Lawson."
quite fair to call us companions, as it were, but we have, by circumstance, ended up in the same situation.
So as you come down, Hector Sweet has also come down because of the hubbub.
Right.
And Burns is there as well. And Burns does say, Inspector Ward, it is true, I did not let them leave last night. They were here all night, so if it did happen in the evening, it couldn't. And Hector, Mr. Sweet says, I can also agree with that. I did see them in the night, so we don't know when it was exactly that this poor woman died, but I don't think it could be them. So the inspector says, well, that is good information to have. I appreciate it. But nonetheless, I at least have some questions to ask of you all in at least the interest of poor Mr. Dawson out here, just to make sure that we are covering all of our bases. It behooves me to do so. At this point in time, you are not necessarily considered suspects, but it is important that we do know what's going on, as you did see, a few of you at least, did see Miss Dawson yesterday.
Well, I'm glad someone's able to keep his head around here.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
A bit of an extreme thing to say, but
I don't
all
know
right.
what you mean. That's just a common American phrase.
All right, if you say so. Would it be all right, he turns to Mr. Burns and says, would it be all right if we sat in your lobby? And he says, yes, of course, just right that way if you want. And as you all go in, it looks like some things are still kind of broken, but he did kind of put it back together with Esme's help.
Inspector Ward.
Yes.
That is your name? Yes?
It is, yes.
A small question. Mr. and Mrs. Dawson, they are married, presumably?
They are.
And presumably they do not have separate bedrooms.
As far as I know, they do not.
Then perhaps it was not us, but Mr. Dawson, who should be answerable to his wife's dismemberment?
Well, the assumption is that we are not going to check all possible paths, then I don't understand. Would you like my job instead?
I think your job is far beneath me, Inspector.
Bono,
Indeed.
I think it's fair to say that your accusation is in poor taste, as is the accusation towards us.
I do not accuse, I am just saying that Miss Maggie and I were clearly not the last people who have seen Mrs. Dawson.
Well, it seems that there may be a bit of an issue here, as I'm not entirely sure, but you seem to be agitated at the fact that someone has asked me to come and speak with you. But I don't know if you've run into interacting with the authorities very often, but it is imperative that we cover all bases. My goal here is to make sure that this town is safe. It's not to go about blaming people willy-nilly. So I apologize if you think that, but all I'm trying to do is my job. So I'd appreciate it if you work with me.
I forgive
Of course. Of course, but you didn't just accuse us of murder like Mr. Dawson.
Well, I understand
I appreciate that.
he did come at it a bit strongly. I would have preferred that he did not, but he is very distraught at this point. And as you may know, in a small town like this, it is very easy to point the finger at anything that seems different.
Yes, everyone seems quite eager to do so.
Yes, well, if you had lived here for this long without a lot of outsiders coming in, and they come in all at one time when bad things are happening, it's very easy for people to point their finger. But that's why I'm here, to make sure that no one gets accused wrongly.
Who was the first?
The first?
The first new person?
In town?
Yes.
Oh, well, I don't know.
When the bad things started happening. Just out of curiosity.
I
not to accuse
have
them.
not kept track of that myself, but I assure you that we are interviewing everyone we can here in town. So at this point, I actually have a few questions for you all, if you don't mind.
All
Yes,
right, let's
please.
get on with it.
Bono
All
was
right.
used to answering questions.
So first of all, do you all know what Watashikiri means?
What? What am I carrying?
Shakiri?
Honestly, very little. It's not much. There's no pockets in this dressing gown.
What does she... But that's what the woman in white said.
But who?
What does she carry? What does she...
Is that in a different language? I don't understand.
The constable says, "Oh, wait, actually, I think that might be another language. I think you might have a point. You said that. I've heard it before. I think it might be what is Mr. Smith is half Japanese. That's what it is. I think it's Japanese." The inspector says, "Really, are you sure?" Well, I know, I'm not entirely sure, but it's just a thought. I wouldn't have known it if not. Well, there was one time. Never mind. It's a story for later. Yes, indeed. Well, thank you for that. But then, if maybe it is Japanese, we won't assume that is the case. But this is not something you've ever heard before.
Absolutely not.
I thought you were asking like an Irish, like, what does she carry? You know, like...
I suppose it could be that, but that is... This is... Mr. Dawson heard this before his wife died.
Heard it in the middle of the night?
He did, yes.
And when he woke up, what did he see?
He didn't see anything until he found his wife without a head.
So he just heard a voice say this phrase, and when he woke up, his wife was without a head.
Pretty much, yes. she was.
We should find out what it means. Not that we want to do your job for you, but you said Mr. Smith was Japanese.
Oh, well, yes, the constable said he is half Japanese, I do believe. I've not been formally introduced myself, so we will probably be visiting him to find out if he knows what this means fastest. But if you all don't know, then we could go on to the next.
I'd be very
Watch out for
curious.
his dogs.
Oh, yes, he does have quite a few. And that brings to a point, you were trying to speak with him, it sounds like, maybe when he did not want to speak with you, if you did hop the fence. That is considered trespassing.
Ah, yes, well, I don't believe there's any issue of that, as we have a key, therefore we are unable to break and enter, as it
It's
were.
interesting, because my constable said that you did jump the fence and then run off, and to be entirely honest, it looks a bit like maybe you stole the key.
I didn't steal it. I wouldn't be one to steal a key. I would simply break in and steal what it is I want in the place. But I didn't do that either.
All right, well, at this point, it is your word against my constables, and I'm sorry, sir, but I do not know you. That does not mean that I'm going to take you in. Honestly, at this point, it seems no harm was done. But please do endeavour to not break any laws here so that I can pay attention to what is most important, as these murders, and not trespassing, right? Just for the time being, please be considerate of that so I don't come after you for that.
No trespass.
Yeah, and
Thank
where
you.
I'm from in the States, you know, we're a wild lot. You just hop a fence, go over, say hi to your neighbor, see what's going. I'm going to stop talking now. It is a withering gaze, if I'm being totally honest.
Yes. Well, let's continue on then. So you all were here all night?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Against our will, as it were.
Against your will?
Yes. We were forced in here. The door was locked. We were not allowed the free movement. That is the right of every subject of the king.
Well, it is, but you would have been breaking the law here had you gone outside.
Well, then I believe that law is unlawful, as it were, and I have many friends who are highly.
Horace. The simple question is that, did we go outside at night? And the answer is simply no.
All right. Yes, then that is good. It sounds like you were done a service at that point then. Well then, so you've not gone outside, and you were talking with Miss Dawson, why?
I was merely inquiring about flowers for my betrothed.
You hussy.
Yes, there's no need to drag the inspector into our dramatics.
Well, if he wants to know what was happening
Esme,
last night,
please.
we can talk about
Please,
it.
we should not speak too much about what happened last night. It is not good to get into such racy affairs.
All right, look, this artifice is becoming tiring. We are as interested as anyone else in what is going on in this town. Now, you may not have heard of me, but I am something well known in my academic circles as being... And he pulls out like a card and like this heads it out. Dealing with situations that people generally consider supernatural before they understand entirely what it is going on there. And professional interest has brought us to this town.
It is true.
Horace, you hussy.
It is true.
I
We
don't
are very
appreciate
great
that.
friends now. We
That
just
is
met,
true.
and I have no sexual interest in him.
All right. Okay. So you're telling me you are spiritualists of a kind, and you have come here to find out what's happening.
Well, we were drawn here.
True.
Is more the answer.
And we spoke to Mrs. Dawson because, well, we heard that she was quite ill. And actually, I will say, not that I do think it's Mr. Dawson, but he did confess to some marital problems as we were telling them that maybe we were to have some ourselves. Neither here nor there. But we were curious in speaking to people. So maybe, even though we are not here to do your job, but maybe we could be of some help because we are not quite sure why we're here either, other than there are supernatural, if you will, energies that have drawn us here.
All right. This is something I believe I've come upon before. I understand that many folks in town do believe there's something supernatural going on with the fog and all that sort. But I deal in what is logical and is happening. I am not one to tell people what they should believe, but it is my job to make sure people are safe. So if you all are coming to town to go about your business, to find out if there's some sort of I don't know what you would call it, some horrible mist causing murders, then that is fine as long as you don't cause any issues for the town itself. All right? At this point, just please do not make any of this worse, because you do know that if people begin to panic, we have a small town. We could lose many more people. So if that is all you are here for, then please refrain from getting into police business.
I understand, Inspector. Vanna will stick with Vanna's business. Inspector will stick with his.
Well, it doesn't seem like your curfews and laws have stopped people from being decapitated in the middle of the night, so perhaps a different
I'm sorry,
outcome is...
what was your name?
My name is Horace Duncombe III of the Duncombe.
Yes, I've heard of the Duncombes, and are they normally one to go against their king and country and the local authorities?
The king and country, as it were. Are you accusing me?
Well, I'm just saying that you seem to have a lot to say about how things are run here in this
I
town.
do have a great deal to say, for I think it is being run badly in this town. We are here to try and help, and we have been nothing but hindered by these curfew laws.
Well, I'm sorry that you feel that way. You're welcome to leave, but those are in place to protect the town. You all are outsiders. It is not my job to make sure that you are comfortable here in this town. It's my job to make sure people are safe. So I
And how has that been
apologize.
working out for
Excuse
you?
me, sir. If you would like to go to jail because you continue
For
to
mouthing
push
off
back-
to an officer.
I want to grab Irving Ward's arm and just pat it and like pull attention. Just, thank you so much. He's been under a lot of stress lately. There's a lot of like sexual tension flying back and forth.
I don't
between
care
some of
what it is. I do
Right.
not
He's just
appreciate
a
it
lot.
when I'm trying to do my job.
We understand that, and we will do nothing of the sort to get in the way of you keeping the city, the village, town safe. We are just we're trying to do our part too.
I
Allow me
appreciate
to
that.
apologize for Horace, Inspector. Men as they age tend to view themselves as they once were, strong and in their prime.
Well, whatever
And there's
it
no difference
is,
with
I do
Horace.
not have time to go about this farce. All right, I'm here to help you as much as I am everyone else, and I really do not appreciate the response that I have gotten.
Do you
All
think
right?
we are unsafe?
Yes, in this town at this point, I do think everyone is unsafe. That is why I'm trying to make sure that it is safe. It is my job. There are not many of us in town. So I would appreciate at this point if you do not leave, as you are still people of interest. You're not suspects at this point, but please do not leave town, which at this point I don't think you'll be able to anyway, because this fog has not let up. It's very hard to travel. All right, if you do need anything, please come by, but please do not waste my time, all right? If you need anything else, I am here at your service. All right, Constable Larson, let's leave. And he kind of gets up and gets his things, and they turn to leave.
Was Larson the one that busted us trying to break in? Mm-hmm. I give him a dirty look.
He kind of looks irritated, and then he follows the inspector.
Yeah.
So they leave.
Nah.
And Mr. Burns comes in, he says, "Oh, well, I expect that you will be checking out today. I appreciate the stay, but please go about your way."
Oh, we would do nothing of the sort. This is the nicest hotel I have ever stayed at, and I could not imagine not extending my stay at least until the mists clear out.
Oh, I appreciate that, but I'm not going to allow you to stay at this point. You had a dog attack me yesterday, and that is not something that I want to be in danger of. So you will have to find other accommodations. But I do appreciate your business.
Your entire establishment attacked us.
That's true.
That's what you say. As far as I saw, you destroyed my lobby. But again, I do thank you. Please take your things and go about your business.
We're not allowed to leave the town. Where should we go? Is there another inn?
Not that I know of, but
Would you have us stay on the street? It is illegal.
I agree, but it's clearly something you wanted to do. I do not want to get into an argument. It is my business, and this is how I want to run it. I do not feel safe with you all in it. Thank you, and he is kind of backing up slowly.
Well, I guess we'll just have to go stay with Mr. Smith then.
And get this, we have a key.
All right, so at this point, you all are planning to go to Mr. Smith?
I guess.
Yeah.
Suppose so.
I'm gonna leave my luggage in the lobby. Like, I'll have someone come for the luggage.
All right, so real quick, we have a few more re-rolls that we've gotten. So thank you very much to Sigmundine? Is that what you say that? Sigma
Undine.
Undine. Thank you very much for the sub. And Pro Noobs, thank you for the resub. So, Sigma Undine does send one reroll to Esme.
Oh, thank you.
You are welcome. And Pro Noobs sends one reroll to me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right.
Speaking of roles, I was thinking, what do you think of maybe divining the spirits, and I could ask where the best place might be for us to go next, for us to stay? If maybe Mr. Smith isn't the right, if we want to be led in the right direction.
He certainly wasn't particularly hospitable earlier.
That's good. Let's do
we
that.
ask?
Before you all do that, though,
Okay.
you notice that you're not quite feeling normal. In fact, you're feeling so not normal that you have one fatigue.
Oh, no.
But you do feel just a bit like you just didn't get really much sleep last night.
Sure.
You feel just a little light on your feet today.
And fatigue is a -1 to everything? Or -2?
Yes, -1.
Okay.
So, you wanted to try and speak with your spirit guide to find out where to go next?
Yes. And that's 3 PPs, right?
Yes, it is. But you will be at full now, so PowerPoint's full.
Okay, so 12.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is...
Should be your focus,
Yes.
which will be down here. So whatever that die is, roll that with your wild die. So it's your D6, yeah. Yeah, so you take a moment to focus, get into a trance, and you aced it on that wild die. So you can re-roll that one.
Crush it.
Wow, you aced it again.
Hey!
So you can re-roll it again,
She writes the
Keep it
whole
going.
man in the sea.
right? Right, it's a whole story.
I was
So you
just saying,
got
this keeps
13.
acing.
That's quite a number. Yes. So you put your pen to paper. What specifically is your question that you are asking?
I sort of want to, like, what is the most, and I'm just conferring with them before I ask it officially, what is the most productive place for us to venture to next, or to...
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where do we need to be to solve this? Yeah.
Yes, where do the spirits want to send us to help solve this mystery? The good spirits. I hope. Send us down the path of solving this mystery and helping this town.
So you write. You feel that your hand is not your own anymore. The spirit guide has taken over, and you write an E-I-K-O, and then you write new word S-M-Y-T-H-E.
I go Smythe. We haven't met him yet.
That's someone completely different than who we were looking for.
What about Smith? What about Smith?
The Brits are so wacky with
I
those
go
spellings.
Smith. Well, he was half Japanese. Maybe not quite familiar with...
Is this the man
I
that
don't-
you broke into his house?
We didn't break into his house.
Oh,
We
I
broke
thought that
onto
was-
his property.
Oh, I
Did you
thought
see
that
a
was just a lie you were
nameplate?
telling that you did not actually
No,
break
no,
into his house.
No, we broke onto the property, met some very nice dogs. He chucked the key at us and told us to leave.
That's perfect. Oh, that was my intuition. To go to
Fantastic.
Smith. And the spirits agreed. Oh,
Good job,
Getting
Miss
better.
Maggie.
Thank you, DJ Regular, for your tip.
you.
Okay, so would you all like to head to? Oh, thank you, Bondo. Thank you for the tip.
Thanks.
Would you all like to head to Mr. Smith's house then?
Yes.
Sure.
Absolutely.
So you all leave let me go over here. You all leave the inn and you head out. And it is another very foggy day. There are a few people about, but you can see a bit of a hubbub over at... Once you notice where the police actually are, that's... You all of a sudden recall what happened last night to you. You recall looking at that house, that's the house that woman, the woman in white, went into last night.
Alright. Oh, as we walk out of town, I'll like bring my companions closer together.
Okay. So before you actually walk out of town, though, you remember the way, so you're headed that direction, and you hear just a whisper. What is she hearing?
I do.
You do. Doesn't seem like anyone else heard it.
Can I tell at all where it's coming from?
You can look around a bit, but as far as you can tell...
Esme, did you hear anything?
What?
A voice.
No, I don't think I did. No. What did it sound like?
It sounded like the voice from my dreams.
The next time you look over at Esme, you don't see Esme's face. You see the face of a woman with a mask. Staring at you. And then you blink, and it's Esme again.
Vano, are you okay? You look like a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs.
I did not sleep well last night, and I am starting to see things.
Make a fear roll for me. Spirit roll. As like a Narnian. Thank you for
Thank
that.
you.
Nice.
10.
Oh, and it said a -2, so 8. But you're still good.
Oh, 8.
All right. Yes, so you all go about, and you do notice that Vano seems just tired. At the very least.
Sweet.
Maybe a bit distracted.
I feel like Esme gets that a lot, so she's like not trying to make a big deal out of it, but is like kind of sticking close, just making sure he's okay.
Okay. And as you all are walking, Horace, you hear you step on something, and you look down and you see this on the ground.
Are we far enough out of town
You're kind of at the edge of town at this point.
and no one's around us?
Not really.
So,
Rossi.
last night, I now remember what I saw. I got up to look out the window. I was not sleeping well, and I saw the woman in white.
Oh.
In the flesh.
Yes, she was entering the home of the florist,
Oh.
and she looked up at me. No, I remembered nothing. But when we just walked past the florist shop, I heard her voice again in my head. The thing she says, what does she carry? And then I looked up at Esme, and it looked like her face was the mask of the woman.
Oh. Oh my.
Whatever is happening in this town is starting to happen to me.
I'm sorry, Vano. I was distracted for a moment.
One
You've
moment.
seen-
Before you start, I forgot to give you guys bennies.
Go!
So let's give you
Thank
some
you.
bennies. 3 for you. 3 for you.
Thank you.
3 for you.
Oh, thank you.
And 3 more for you. And
Thank you.
because we have lovely spirit guides out there in chat, you guys have gotten a gift from the spirits with me, which means you each get an extra benny.
Yay!
Thank you, spirit guides, for that.
Thank y'all.
Maybe they will need it. All right.
I do not know. I mean, perhaps it is best if I leave this town. I do not.
I think we stick together now.
I'm sorry. Did anyone see anyone else going up this path ahead of us, or anything?
I can't see anything in this fog, no.
I found this note on the ground, and I don't know the significance, but I can't help but notice it. It lists a series of locations: Hydesville, Caledonia Mills, Great Amherst Mystery, Bowley Rectory, and Bainbridge Estate is on there. I feel like I remember that name. Do any of these ring a bell?
Make it a cult roll.
Was Bainbridge was where our last one was at, right? I can't think that does not seem like a coincidence to me. All right, Cole.
Castle. High Hiram Manor, Mustier Manor, Wolf's Egg Castle, Charles Fort, Malahide Castle.
I got a 7.
A 7. So as you look through this, you actually recognize more of those as places. They are either places that are known to be very haunted, or they are places that have been, or they are like events, haunted events that have been investigated.
I believe I've studied a great deal of these locations. They are known for having a certain level of supernatural goings-on, as it were.
I knew it. I bet. And I am a betting woman. Just side note. I bet that list belongs to a Mr. Sweet. I bet that's the reason why he's here, just like all of us.
Ooh.
But Mr. Sweet lives in this town, no?
No, he's just visiting in town to
He's
try to
a
sell some
visiting car
cars.
salesman, correct? Or did I misunderstand?
Perhaps. I can't say for sure. Obviously, it's just a list of very haunted places, but it seems that with our general professions and the goings-on in this town, it could not be a coincidence.
Yes, but this is none of your lists.
No.
No. While the Great Vano is studying the list, Esme is going to be like intensely checking his face. Like, Miss Maggie, you mentioned that before she was beheaded, the lady florist was looking rather peaked, was she not?
Yeah, she was very pale and had a rash on her face.
What are you implying, Esme?
Can I rash check this sweet boy just to see if anything's happening?
Make a notice roll.
Rash check.
I'm gonna try to assist her. Be like, do I have a rack?
Oh, then before you roll,
no.
that's okay. If you want to do that, just make a. I mean, you can make a support roll. I'm trying to think of whatever skill you think would be helpful there. I mean, your. Just do notice. Do notice as well.
Boating roll.
You're helping point it out.
Survival.
5.
Yeah. So you get a +1 to your roll.
Sweet. All right,
see
so I
anything?
got 6 total.
Check the back of my neck.
So as you look, you don't really see any rash per se, but he does look very pale and just kind of gaunt in
Yeah.
a way. Especially that quick seems strange.
Yeah. I don't see any rash. but, honey, you just don't look good. I mean, I don't mean it that way. You look fine.
Vano always looks good. Something is wrong.
No, you look good in that, like
Yes.
you're a Wilton,
Like
No.
the
like a
bone.
Vano does
poet.
not wilt.
like a poet.
The structure is very.
Vano is firm and proud.
Vano, your prime is past you. Everyone has to deal with it at some point. Look, maybe there's more we can find out about this list. Now, it's been some time since I have gone on a hunt, but St. George is a trained hunting dog. Perhaps he could sniff out
sniff
someone
it.
who had this list before us.
Yes.
Yes.
So, can I try seeing if I can get St. George to sniff out?
Sure. Take a look at his stats. Is there something? Does he have a notice or anything like that?
Let's see. He's got athletics, fighting. He's got notice.
Okay. So we'll roll.
The puppies roll.
I mean, yes. If you can justify a way that you are assisting.
I can re-roll the puppies.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's got
Roll.
his own. That's so good.
Indeed. So,
And I can use my bennies on it because I have an edge that
Yes,
lets
you
me
can.
do that.
Nice.
so if anyone does want to assist, you roll the support rolls before he makes his roll.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's a pretty good notice, actually. So you can definitely
You
assist.
support it.
Definitely do it. I'm just
Yeah.
letting you know it's not terrible.
I was scratching my head in the ears like, who's a good boy? You're the best boy. I believe in you.
All right.
This is
So
my excuse to pet a dog in the game.
There you go.
All
That'd
right,
be
St. George.
persuasion, I think.
Yeah. All right. Woo.
Ooh, you aced it.
6. All right, total of 10.
So that's +2 to St. George.
I'm going to attempt to use my common knowledge that if you ruffle up a paper, it releases more scent.
Okay. Okay.
All right. That sounds common knowledge-y.
You aced it there.
Everyone knows that.
Everyone.
Do you
knows
not?
So is that a 7?
that. Well, 6 because I'm.
Oh, right, 6. So that'll add another +1. You're not sure that's quite right, but, you know, St. George seems to be happy, so it seems to be helping.
So I like go through the. I'm sure there's like I don't know anything about hunting, but I'm sure there's like something you say to a dog before like putting him out on the hunt.
I mean, I think it'd be like any other kind of training. You would train him. Yeah.
All right, St. George. Here's the scent. Now, do you have it? Do you have it?
He seems very excited.
Right.
Make sure
No,
to
I'll
rustle
roll-
the paper, Horace.
I'll roll for his. I'll roll for his notice.
Does he get a wild die?
No, he does not. He's an extra.
Oh.
He gets a 6, which is
+3.
9.
9. Okay, very good. That is with a raise. So he
You
steps.
have it, St. George. You have it.
He's very excited, and then you see him kind of he focuses and he sniffs around and he kind of goes off one direction and he goes down a way and it looks like he has it, but then he stops and he kind of looks around and then he starts sniffing another direction and he again seems like he has it. But
Go,
then-
St. George. Tell me how.
And then he kind of comes back, and he keeps looking around, and he kind of looks at you. It seems that he just can't find it.
What does this mean?
Just may simply mean that there's not enough of a scent on the paper to truly find who it is, or they did not leave enough of a trail for him to follow. Men often do not leave the same trails that animals do. They tend to have a muskier scent to themselves. But it was worth a shot.
Or maybe he got away in a car.
That.
Well, there's only one way to find
Okay.
out, and that's continuing to hope that it comes more clear.
Are there tire tracks
I was
here?
gonna say, can I look for tracks?
Oh, yeah, you have survival, right?
It would be the
This would be
only
survival.
car that
right.
I have seen in this town.
You throw.
Check the ground for tracks. Oops, sorry. That's fine.
Two. You look around, but there just seems, with all this fog and everything, it's just really hard. It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot, but it's really hard for you to tell.
Okay. I can't really tell the difference in the ground and the many leaves and.
They do look very similar to wagon wheels.
Well,
Perhaps we are best off to sojourn forward to Mr. Smith.
Very well. We'll keep this list on hand. Perhaps it will give us some sort of insight as to what's going on later.
perfect. Ooh, I wonder if our good friend Benson will be out and about. He's my favorite. Hopefully he can see us in all this fog.
So you all are continuing to head to Mr. Smith's house. So you do arrive at the gate. Siamath the ghost!
Whoa!
Thank you very much.
Spooky.
Well, I mean, he is a spirit guide.
you.
so
Yeah.
It does make sense. Yes, so you do get to the gate. You do see the same padlock as before, and it is locked.
Now, did you bring the key, Sugar, or do we have to jump again?
I've got it right here.
Oh.
I'll try it.
And it does work.
Well, there we go.
And as you start to move,
Take that, constable.
you hear dogs barking. And you see them run around, and they come at the gate looking very vicious and upset.
Sweet. I want to, jump out in front and say, nope, you remember me. I should have brought a snack. That's on me. Don't.
Okay, so let's again make a persuade roll of +2 because they are primed to attack, but
Yeah.
they aren't likely to attack you. All right, +2. That gives you
So 7.
a 7. So they still kind of growl, but they
Yeah.
stop because they seem to remember you, and you know how to work with animals, so you kind of pick up on this kind of stuff. So you're pretty sure that at least for now, as long as nobody makes any quick moves or does anything that might upset them, that hopefully they will not attack, as long as you kind of keep an eye on them.
Now, Vano, it's super important that if you let that turban come down even a little bit, they'll see it as a sign of aggression and attack. So,
So what should I do?
hold your breath. Try not to breathe too hard. They can see it as a threat. Don't make eye contact. She's just gonna lie to you. Yeah.
I have more experience with doves, you understand.
I mean, doves are basically just dogs with feathers. Treat them the same.
Shove them in your shirt. Very well.
It couldn't hurt.
All right, so you guys do make it through the gate. These dogs are still staying with you, but Esme has them contained for right now. And it is a bit of a winding path up to the house, but you all head that direction. And as you get up to the house, you see the same thing as before. It seems very locked up. All the windows are shuttered. Doesn't seem like there's much happening about the house.
Perhaps we should knock.
After you. Now, once again, no quick movements. They will attack.
Come on, Vano, knock like a man.
I do not see how I can possibly knock
Stand back.
loudly.
I push from the side and I just go, dum, 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 dum.
So you don't hear anything for a little bit. And then after a while, you hear, "You're back. Did you come back to bring my key?"
Oh, come now, let's not go through all of this again. Look, we're here in town investigating the strange goings-on, and we have, through sources that we do not wish to name at the moment, come to believe that you may know more about what is happening here than you have let on previously.
You don't hear any response.
Good. Definitely reassure him that we're not here to accuse him of something untoward.
We simply wish to speak with you, Mr. Smith. Either come down and open this door, or I will assume your non-answer is an invitation forward.
You hear no response.
Very well then.
So welcoming.
Try the key, horse.
Do you happen to know what the phrase "what does she carry" means?
No, I don't.
Not asking you. I'm not asking you, Vana.
After a brief pause, you hear, "What did you say?"
Come now, Aiko, let us in for some tea.
What did you just say?
What does she carry?
Where did you hear that?
We've heard it all over town.
From who?
You'll have to let us in for us to tell you.
I don't like it.
So
Quid
you
pro quo, as it were.
With some tea.
see that there's sort of like an eye slot, and all of a sudden it opens, and you see a pair of eyes.
We stab him. No, I'm just kidding. He made a mistake.
I hold up the paper with his name on it.
We don't know if that's his name yet.
With the name on it.
He doesn't. He just kind of looks at all of you, but he eyes you specifically.
You would.
I know
What's
his
wrong with you?
bone structure is it's unique, but
Anema.
It is merely
common
a turban.
in
It
the
is a
city.
headwear.
No, that's
from-
not what I mean. Are you ill?
Not quite felt as well.
You can't come in. He slams the
What?
door closed.
No, he's fine. It's all the rage in. Where are you from? The
It doesn't
continent. Okay.
Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith.
Go away.
I will once again proposition you. Either you open the door, or you're non-opening a door. I will take as an invitation to come forward.
does this work?
You don't hear anything.
Normally.
Response.
Try the key, Horace.
Horace.
Horace, the key.
Well, let's give it a shot. I'll try the key.
Does not work.
All right, it's the gate key. Look,
Please allow me, Horace.
please, Mr. Smith.
All right, while he's talking, I'm gonna try the door.
Okay, so you want to try to pick it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are multiple locks here. So we'll start with the first one. You actually see there's probably 5 of them. So this is your thievery skill. You are at a minus
Thievery.
1. Yoink.
A -1.
For your fatigue. So that's a 3. But you could re-roll it with a Benny or with one of the
I'll
table
take one of
rolls.
the table.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I have rerolls.
Ah.
You keep trying, and this lock
bless you.
is not like a lock you've come upon before. Like this lock is pretty intense. You feel like it will take you a lot longer to really unlock this one.
Can I try to persuade?
Yeah, you definitely can.
Mr. Smith, you're obviously a dog man. You know, poor St. George out here seems so parched of water. Maybe you could at least open the door and give the poor dog a little bit of water and the poor ladies a little bit of tea.
St. George is the constitution of a camel, as it were.
Shut it, Horace.
Are you saying that?
I kind of mumble it.
But not loudly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just elbow him.
So make a persuade.
Okay. Ah.
Bye, die.
4.
I'm gonna re-roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought you put one of the bennies in there. Like, that's not where they go.
Oh, you aced it.
Yay!
Yay.
7. Okay.
Still pretty good.
Beautiful.
So after a little bit, you hear. Why is it that you're here again? You know that phrase, and what are you doing in this town?
Mr. Smith, do you know what this phrase means? It seems to have a special significance to you.
That's not really what's important here,
Oh,
as
it
far
is,
as I'm concerned.
Very important to us, and you telling us that might encourage us to leave your property more swiftly.
I want to know why it's important to you.
Because I keep hearing it.
You're hearing it.
Yes,
You should not be here.
and yet I am.
Are there any rain gutters?
Mr. Smith, perhaps
You seem on the
if you are
you're
nervous,
saying- Okay.
if you are nervous that you might catch something from me because you think I look ill, allow my friends in. I will stay outside.
No, I'm more afraid of what you'll bring in with you.
That's why I'm saying I stay outside. They come in.
Mr.
Why?
Smith, if there is something going on, it's clear that you nor no one else here in town will tell us what it is. If it is truly better for us to leave, then simply let us inside. We will sit down and have tea like proper.
I'm not going to let you inside until you tell me why you know that phrase and what it is that you need it for.
We need it because we have heard it. It has come to us in dreams and on the street from the constable. And we are people who are seeking truth. We are trying to find what is going on in this damnable town.
But why? Why are you trying to figure it out? Why not just leave town? It's safer that way.
Well, the spirits led us here.
What do you mean they led you
How do you
here?
think I know this name? Are you Aiko?
I just thought you wrote it down. Yes, that's my name.
Oh, well, I did write it down, but I didn't know I was writing it at the time.
Is this a joke?
No,
No,
Mr. Smith.
Aiko, are you... There seems to be a bit of sickness going around this town, and my guess is that you are personally worried about contracting some sort of illness, is why you're keeping so far away from the rest of the town.
Illness, no. I'm not worried about that exactly. Listen, if I don't know what it is you're here for, if you all aren't going to tell me, you might as well go. So, everyone,
I've told you so.
make a notice roll for me.
It's so bothersome. We keep telling him the truth. Shall we lie?
I'm gonna re-roll mine.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
11.
11.
Oh, I guess I didn't need to. Oh, crit fail!
Oh no!
I ain't noticed nothing.
Oh, God.
I didn't see nothing.
I got a 5.
I have a 3.
5, a 3. Okay. So you two kind of notice that it seems like he's searching for something particular from you guys. You begin to realize that he seems desperate. It seems like most of the things you've said have not made him react the way the rest of the town does, and you feel like it might be really good in this situation to tell him everything you know, to tell him what it is you're doing here, and what was that awful noise?
Spirits.
Be the spirits, yeah. and to be very specific about why you think you were called here. That you got a crit fail there on your notice, so I think maybe you were really trying to look a bit closer, and it's that time of year, and there's just like dust collects and there's stuff. Yeah, you get way too close to something, you sneeze, you just get a bunch of stuff in your
I
eyes.
sneeze, and the tobacco that's in my pipe that I still it's not lit right now, but I still sometimes have the pipe as sort of like a oral fixation, nervous habit kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I go,
Yeah.
I go, "Oh."
Yeah, so just got a negative to those sight-based notice rolls for a little while there. All right, yeah, so he's continuing, you are telling him the truth, and as you do, you especially feel like that is sort of what he's looking for, but it's something more specific than that from you all.
Esme's gonna press herself against the door and speak really low and just say, this town is being haunted by a woman in white that comes with the mist or brings it with her. And she uses that phrase over and over. We've seen her in our visions, and we've seen her in person.
You've seen her, that makes sense if you're here in this town, but what called you here? Are you someone important?
We are
Yes.
the most important people in this town.
Why is that?
I'm the Great Vano.
I wouldn't say we're important, especially not him, but we all shared the same dream, you see.
Dream. What is the Great Vono? What is that?
I am a
The name.
famous magician and spiritualist.
Spiritual. Are you were called here by spirits then?
That is correct.
Well,
To do what? To help.
To help.
I hope so.
To help. So
Vano is nothing but a helper.
the sliding bit closes, and you actually hear the locks start to unlock. And then after what sounds like a very long time, the door opens a little bit, and you just see a head peek out. He says, "Come in, very quickly, very quickly, very quickly."
right.
Okay.
Right. Well, that's quite a change of pace.
I told you I would get the door open, Horace.
Hey, did Remy get into the house?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, but you
That's gonna be fun
have
later.
no idea what
all
happened.
right.
As far as you know, Remy did.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sure he'll do something very cool.
So you all head in, and this as you come in, this is a nice house. Especially, this is the nicest one in this town. I mean, it really stands out. It is kind of up on a hill. It's off a bit. You can see it from the town, but it is very nice.
Well, I can see your man of quality, Mr. Smith.
Oh, my sainted aunt.
Yes.
Finally.
You're a businessman.
Oh, no, I'm not. I apologize. I've not had guests in a very long time. You said you wanted tea?
Oh, please, sir.
Yes, okay.
Well, I wouldn't say no.
All right, yes, I think I have some. Just come to the kitchen this way, and we'll get some tea. So he kind of shuffles off. He seems like, as you see him, you can tell, yes, he is at least half Japanese. Does not necessarily look like the rest of the folks in town. So that does stand out to you. But he seems like a fairly pleasant man, middle-aged, and he shuffles off to the kitchen. So you all follow him?
Yeah. Have you lived here long, Mr. Smith?
Oh, no, not particularly long. A few months now.
Wow.
So you're hearing that phrase then?
Yes, does it mean something to you?
Oh, yes. Yes, in a way it does. You asked what it meant. It means, am I beautiful?
Am I beautiful?
Yes, that's what it means.
Oh, dear.
Is it... What language is it?
It is Japanese.
Okay.
I'm a bit... So you're here because spirits called you here.
We've been honest with you about what it is that brings us here.
Yes.
Specifically.
Now,
Right.
I would appreciate just a little clarification, because simply showing up at your door and saying the phrase, "Am I beautiful?" does not normally get the same reaction it got out of you.
Well, I just have... Yes, well, that... I didn't expect to hear that in that way here.
You've seen her.
The woman in white is what you all said.
Yes.
Yes, I have, and you have seen her.
Yes.
And you're all still... You've seen her the most, though.
Yes.
Who is
Yes.
she? You know who
Women
she
are
is.
drawn to me, Mr. Smith.
Oh,
Well, this is not one you want drawn to you.
Well, I find that happens more often than you would think. I also find it is best to answer that question with a very strong and affirmative yes.
You can try it in this situation, but I do not recommend it.
You have had prior experience with this woman in white.
I have.
Do you know this woman?
That is not the way I would put it. This is not something that normal people take in, especially here in this country, that interpret with any sense of belief, I suppose, for lack of a better way of putting it. So the fact that you all are here and know so much is not something I'm used to, at least as of late. I guess it's been a bit that way, but...
We are students of the occult, of happenings that do not seem in the normal range of people's understanding. I am myself a necroplasmologist. I study what some people consider superstition, but I believe is simply a misunderstanding of the natural world.
Okay.
So phenomenon such as ghosts or movement without some sort of clear motor creation, things flying through the air. I have dealt with those things before. I have studied them. These deaths in the night, they are not out of things we have run into before. We are professionals and we are here to help.
Mr. Smith, you will never find in your lifetime a more captive and believing audience.
You all should leave. There's nothing you can do here.
Well, why are you still here? Besides this lovely house.
Yes, it is lovely, isn't it?
I
Well-
do not believe in the lack of agency that your statement seems to state. Now look, if there is anyone who can do anything about what is happening here, we are the people. We are the experts in the matter.
If there is something that can be done, then I'm willing to give you the information, but I warn you, this is not a place you should be. I recommend that you leave. I recommend that everyone should leave.
Yes, well, recommendation
Everyone.
taken, of course.
Unfortunately, we are bound to this town by the law.
What do you mean by everyone, though? Like the entire town?
It's not a safe place to be. Not with me here. It is not.
You brought the mist, huh?
The mist, the fog. No, I did not bring that. That just seems to be a staple in this town. I don't know why.
Did you bring the woman in white?
I think that I did. Yes, but I am safe here in this house. At least that's what I've been told, and it seems to be the case so far, but
Who tells you that you are safe in this house?
I don't know who they are, but they bought me this house and told me if I moved here, I would never have to run again as long as I stayed inside.
People did.
Oh, so not a psychic spirit or something?
I don't know who they were. I'm not sure, but
But you're not.
I didn't realize it would put so many lives at risk.
Where were you before?
I've traveled quite a bit. I grew up here in England for the most part and spent my young life in Japan, of course. But this is not a town I've been to. I've honestly been traveling here and there throughout Europe.
Does this
Get out the
woman
list.
follow you from town to town?
They have it.
It's not. It's not that I knew of. No, not that I fully realized. But at this point, you all don't have any of the information. I should at least give you the basics so you know what you're dealing with. You clearly don't seem to know, and I'm afraid, Vono, sir, that you are in grave danger. And is that... when did you see her?
Last night.
Last night?
Yes.
And you're already getting that rash.
What rash?
And you all look at him, and on his face, around his mouth, you start to see a bit of a red rash that has appeared.
Oh no.
Well, it looks like if this is the safest place to be, this is where we're going to have to stay until we solve this little mystery.
So we are safe in this house.
As far as I know,
All right. We're safe in this house.
Are you sure that Vono's rash is related? He does have dalliances of various sorts, which could lead him to various issues.
I suppose it could be something else, but if he's been seeing her, that is the same rash I saw on myself years ago.
You saw it and you survived.
That is a story I should tell you.
Yes, please do.
What do you all know about Japanese spirits?
Well, can I find out what I know about Japanese?
Anyone wants to make an occult roll? Feel
Yeah,
free.
I'd like to. I feel like in the circus I might have learned.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, I got a 9.
I don't have a cult.
You got a 9? Okay, you can still make a roll. You're just a D4 with your wild die, and it's at a -2.
Yep.
I got a 5.
5, 9,
14.
14.
What?
Oh, you aced that 4 there.
Wait, sorry.
Oh, I
Wrong.
did.
Wrong
Yes,
one.
you did.
Wrong one.
Oh,
Wrong one. This is a cult, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
yes.
7 minus 2, 6. 7 minus 2,
5.
5.
Yeah, so 5.
Team
You
5?
Wow.
7 minus
Wow.
2.
This boy.
It's got some acing going on here.
13.
Still pretty good.
13. That's okay.
I mean, that will do.
all right. So you both,
Know that Japan is a country.
yeah, you know that Japan is steeped in lore with ghosts. Ghosts are everywhere. That is a very big part of their culture, both good and bad. So that's what you all know. You know that specifically, and you're not entirely sure how it's pronounced, but they believe that each person has this spirit, and whenever they pass, that spirit can either become a Yuri, you think, or a Curie, and the Yuri is an evil spirit who and that can be for many reasons, but they can go out and they're very powerful. And the other one is like the ancestors that watch over. So it is very important to them that they send off their dead in a very positive way so that they have the positive spirits that come of it. And you know all of this as well, and you know that
So what they become is contingent on how you treat them as they're dying?
it can be who they were in life. It could be that they died some horrible way. It could be that they have something that is unfinished, positive or negative. It could be something that sometimes particular spirits become so evil because of either who they were or how they died, and it just grows and grows and grows, and they just wreak havoc. Sometimes it's just about revenge or whatever it might be. So you know all of this about the spirits, and you know specifically that with Japanese lore, with those spirits, they are very, very hard to beat, if not impossible.
Oof.
So you all know a bit, then, about them.
Yeah.
Well, have you heard of Kutsaki Onna?
Not specifically, no.
No. Well, that's who you're dealing with. So I'll tell you, I've got a little bit of information about her here, but I'll just tell you it as well. She's... From very long ago, no one knows her full story exactly, but the main story is that she was married to a samurai, and she was a very vain woman who went about town, and she was very beautiful, and she would ask people if she's beautiful, and of course everyone would say yes, and she decided, she fell in love with another man, and she was going to cheat on her husband. Her husband found out, and he was enraged, and so he took a big pair of scissors and slit her face from mouth to ear on both sides and said, "Who will find you beautiful now?" And she was so distraught that she killed herself. And it is said that she has come back to get her revenge. And I came upon her when I was a very young child. There is no way to escape her. You can't say yes, for she will make you look like her. She'll slit your mouth just like hers with her scissors that she carries. You can't say no, she'll cut off your head. You can't run away, she'll cut you in half. There is nothing you can do to get away from the spirit, and once she has mocked you, she will come for you one way or another.
But you no longer bear the rash.
I don't. And I, as far as I know, am the only one who got away, but,
How did you get away?
well, knowing a bit of ancient spiritualism myself, I tried something and it worked. As far as I know, it worked. But maybe it didn't work as well as I thought because she has returned. And it sounds, from what I have heard, that she has taken people in town.
What, if you don't mind me asking, would a Japanese lady spirit be doing in England?
I don't know.
She came here with you.
How did you happen upon her when you were a small child?
It was late at night. I was going home, and I took a path through the woods, and there she was in my path. And she was just this woman with a mask, and she wouldn't get out of my way, and she kept asking, "Am I beautiful?" And then she took off her mask, and her face was sliced open, her jaw hung low, her tongue was lolling out.
What did you say?
I called upon a prayer, an ancient Buddhist prayer, to banish her. I have it here. I can write down what you need to do. So he pulls out this piece of paper from his pocket, and he writes a little bit on it, and he hands it to you. It's in Sanskrit. That is what I did. I don't know if it'll work again, but I think it might.
Mantra to banish evil spirits must be recited 1,000 times in entity's presence.
Are we to believe it will just sit there and let us recite this 1,000 times?
1,000.
No, I sincerely doubt it would, but I...
Om Namo Bhagavate Garudaya Trambakaya Sadsvatsut Swaha. 2?
Well, that didn't sound very reassuring.
Oh,
Is that
just
how
the
you got
end?
rid of
It's
the
the
rash?
end.
My Sanskrit is somewhat
Yes,
When I was
rusty.
able to banish her, it went away with her.
When did you start reappearing, though?
Only recently. And I wasn't entirely sure it was happening as I stayed here, but I was told when this house was given to me, if I moved here and stayed indoors, I would be safe. They told me she might come back, and I don't know how they knew, but...
And you have no idea who this they was that gave you a house. This house is a large house, Mr. Smith.
Oh, it is. It is.
It is not inexpensive. Believe me, I know money.
Do you have a wife?
No, it's just me.
Can we read you a list of places and let us know if you've maybe been through those as well?
Sure.
We came upon a list in the woods on the way here.
Oh, all right.
Hydesville? Caledonia Mills?
No,
Great Amherst Mystery?
no,
Borley Rectory?
No.
I have to assume that
It's
this
no.
list is somehow unconnected to Mr. Smith. Perhaps some sort of tourist going around finding places to
That are haunted.
get their jollies off.
What if it's an imposter?
What do you mean?
What if she isn't? You know, if it was, if it's lore, if she's a popular figure in lore, and you got rid of her, and you know, maybe somebody's going around in a charade. It wouldn't explain why we saw her, but maybe it was to stop this imposter. Maybe she's just like a copycat of sorts.
Miss Maggie, how would a copycat make a rash on my face? I am dying.
She cut a boy in half too, darling. Please don't forget that part.
Yes, well, people can cut people in half. It has been done.
With the
it
rash.
Now, I'm not
rash.
saying it is for sure the case, but there are ways to put rashes on people. You could simply
Horse.
find things.
For Pete's sake, will you get your shit together and start believing in the things that we have seen?
My shit is together, and I do believe in that what we have seen. But I do not believe that we should cut out any sort of explanation simply because it is too rational for you.
I didn't mean to start a quarrel. It was just putting it all out there, just so you know as well. The police might come talk to you.
The police.
There's been a death. There's been a murder. Apparently Mrs. Dawson saw
Kutsakiona.
Kutsakiona. She had a rash for a few days. We just saw her yesterday, and then this morning we heard that she was beheaded. So I suppose
Beheaded?
I suppose she said
No.
no.
Thank
The
you,
boy ran at least.
the Posh Panda, for the resub, and Vampire 54 for the tip.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And real quick, we do have a reroll from the Posh Panda for the table.
Yay.
Thank you very much. And the spirits, they have given you a gift. Oh, no, that's the wrong thing. Oh, never mind. But another tier has been unlocked.
Yay!
I was reading the first one. So, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. Anyway,
Oh.
continue. Well, here, I might as well give this to you if you all would like the information. So this is, sorry everyone, this is pretty much the information that he told you, but if chat wants to see it, if you can see this. No? You can't see the picture here?
Probably not.
Or here? How about that one? That's Kutsakiona.
Here, I'll take a picture and tweet it out if you want.
Ooh, nice.
Right?
I can post it.
Yeah, do that.
They're like an hour ahead of you.
Oh yes, there's information. Yes. Anyway, so you said spirits brought you here, yet you it doesn't matter, but I don't know what you all can do with this information. As I've been told, this house is safe from her, but the rest of the town clearly is not.
Weren't you ever curious who bestowed the house upon you?
Curiosity, sure, but when someone comes to you and gives you such a wonderful thing and tells you you'll be safe, you don't ask so many questions.
And what will you do
I understand.
when this town is dead by her hands?
That I didn't know would happen, and it is not something I am happy about, but what can I do against this spirit? You have the information that I have.
You can't simply roll over and let it continue to murder. There's got to be something we can figure out.
Well, by all means, please do, but I do not know how to defeat her except to tell everyone to get away.
Vano, maybe don't look at the picture so much. Maybe just a bit. Esme? Want to
So
take-
as you're staring
want
at
to
that
take the-
picture, all of a sudden a snake falls right on top of it.
Oh,
Where does that come from?
Ah, she's after me! She's throwing snakes at me!
Why is there a snake in the door? I need to get the door.
Remy,
You did not say anything about snakes, Mr. Smith.
Yeah, she's gonna scoop the snake out of your lap
Oh.
and just go, you have a flair for the dramatic, my love.
Is that your snake?
Never seen him before in my life. He just like sticks his tongue out.
All right. Are you all right, Mr. Vano?
Well, not anymore after reading that. It appears as though I am going to die.
Yes, that is what it looks like. And it seems to be happening very fast
You're
with
too
you.
beautiful to die.
I have never seen a rash appear or heard of it in the research I've done that quickly.
I've always been exceptional.
The images are just.
We have to do something about this.
Yes.
Well, you're welcome to stay here, but if you go out those doors, you're not safe any longer.
We'd love to stay here. Thank you so much for your hospitality.
And while we're asking for hospitality, are you a hunting man by any chance?
Hunting? No. Should I be?
I just was hoping that somewhere in this very large estate you would have a gun.
Yes, if you do have a rifle or anything of the sort, I would do pretty well to have one on my own. Although, I do wonder what good it will do against what is probably simply some sort of...
Yes, nectoplasm.
I was going to say something different, but you did get the gist of it.
How do we do this chant in front of the spirit if it must be repeated 1,000 times? She will kill me far faster than that.
That is not something I know. I don't know that I repeated it 1,000 times, but I kept saying it and then she was gone.
I can't help but think that the scenario that is laid down in this story is not all of the options you have. If you run, she will cut you in half.
Yes.
If you say no, she will decapitate you.
Yes.
And if you say yes, she will cut your face open.
Well, what if you answered a question with a question?
Or said anything at all otherwise.
Yes, I think we should all gamble on Vano's life. That is a great idea.
Well, if there's one life we are going to gamble on, I think Vano's is the one that most lends itself to that.
Oh, horse. Maybe the Sanskrit mantra. Maybe as you say it, it holds her off a bit, and somehow she doesn't like it. So she would stay around long enough to say it a few times, but maybe she can't come closer as you say it.
I could try to use my power to bring her here. Just a thought. I'm not too keen on barfing out a homicidal woman.
I would ask that you do not bring her here. If you're going to do that, do it outside. I do not want to be anywhere
I wouldn't
near her.
ruin the floors.
Don't
That's
even
fair.
know what you're talking about or how you would go about that, but you can stay here as long as you don't do that.
Wouldn't dream of it.
I'm told it is safe inside. I feel like that is the best place for Vano right now.
But she's gonna want to try to get to you, right?
Make a notice roll, Bono. At a +1.
Because he's all hypervigilant.
Well, he has danger sense. But
6.
A 6. Okay, so you, all of a sudden, something doesn't feel right, and very quickly you turn around, and there's a book flying right at your head.
I'm gonna try to drop to the ground.
Okay. Make an athletics roll. I'll give you a +1 for this one. And just... So that's, well, you're at a -1, so that's 3.
I'll use a reroll from this.
Okay.
+1 with the -1, so it's just flat.
Just flat, yeah. Same thing. You can use a Benny to reroll if you want.
Use a Benny.
Yeah, I'll use it.
Re-roll it.
Keeps getting worse.
You can still use another Benny, you just can't use another reroll.
Or you get hit by a book.
Yeah, well, you get hit by a book.
It might be plot relevant.
I'll take the book.
Okay, so you turn around in time to see it, but not in time to quite get away fast enough. And it basically, it just kind of gets you at the side of your head, like it's coming this way, it just kind of hits and you kind of fall over and the book falls to the ground.
I'm gonna go pick up the book.
What was that? What?
This again. After all the time I've spent in libraries, you'd assume they'd spend less time trying to kill me. Do you have any sort of weapons? Guns?
No,
Quickly,
we don't
sir!
have any guns.
What are the things we could use to bludgeon books or something else?
What's the book? I went and picked it up.
You picked it up. It just looks like some sort of like fiction book.
Right.
Can I do a notice to try and see if there is like actually, can I say that since we were going on the walk up this hill, which I knew was a tough one, I brought a walking cane with me?
Sure.
Yeah. I also think that's something I would have as a fun accessory anyway, right?
Absolutely.
So I take my cane up and I'm like, "Hey, have at me! Come!"
Are there any
Who else has one?
So
I wield the book.
as you're doing that, you notice that one of the lamps just kind of flickers a little bit. What is it? What have you brought with you?
Is it evil?
Is what evil?
Om Namo Bhagavate Garudaya Tramba Kaya Satrat
As you're doing that, the note comes from you and kind of goes flying through the air, lands on the ground.
Rude.
Om Namo, I don't remember.
I think this is a different spirit. Remember, we encountered a spirit like this in the inn. It did not feel the same as the woman in white.
Well, an extra motor movement, as it were, was a big part of our experiences at Bainbridge.
You have multiple spirits following you about.
No, just the one.
What?
I don't believe spirits follow, perhaps, but our constant exposure to these circumstances has certainly made us more sensitive and perhaps triggering of these.
Thank you, the great Popini, for your tip. Thank you very much.
you.
As you all are saying that, you hear what sounds like the front door open. What? I locked that! And as you go back over, you do see that it is open. And Aiko goes and closes it. What? Do you all know what you've brought into my house? I've not seen anything like this.
All
Should
right.
be safe. And that is the haunting you all unlocked. Just throwing that out there. Oh, also, before we continue on, we do have another unlock. This is a mystic coin. Same as last time, you all can use it to give yourself a +1 to a focus roll, any one of you at the table, but there is the potential that whatever you get in return using that focus might be a lie.
I like it.
Thank you, spirit guides. They unlocked that for you.
Thanks, y'all.
I'm
Also,
going to... Okay.
real quick, while we're stopped, we do have a few messages from the beyond. So as you all are sitting there, you now have tea,
Hooray.
and you hear the spirit guide speaking to you. The first one is Siamath Pirnkot. He says, "Cold be hand and heart and bone, and cold be sleep under stone. Never more to wake on stony bed, never till the sun fails and the moon is dead."
Into it.
Ooh.
like that.
Cheers.
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 Your spirit guides.
Cheers.
They're very creepy sometimes. The next one is from the great Popini. This is a very powerful medium you all know of, very famous.
Yes.
Beware, here there be psychic kobolds. Also, can I get a bully from Jordan?
Bully! Bully's a good one. Bully's like one I haven't been using, too.
You need to get
bully!
in that.
Ah, cheers, thank you.
Yeah.
Spirit guides for your messages. Very important
Cheers.
to our psychics.
Glorious.
All right. We will continue on. There are still quite a few unlocked, some that I am particularly excited about. If you just want to take a look there, exclamation point unlocked, feel free to do so. Anyway, let's continue on. All right, well, as long as you aren't putting me in danger by being here in this house, you're fine to stay, but it's not something I've come upon here before.
I mean, just beware of slightly ballistic books, Sugar. That seems to be the long and short of it.
I've never had trouble with my books before.
Yes, well, it never hurts to keep vigilance.
Yes, I suppose.
As he says that, a horse kind of like spins, holding his like cane up.
So dashing.
Don't seem to
He
notice
cuts a
anything.
fine figure.
Vano's gonna walk forward and grab the little incantation and put it in his pocket.
Okay. And as you put that in the
hang on
pocket,
to
you had
this.
that list as well, right?
Yeah.
You notice it's gone.
Give that list back.
List?
Good thing I took a picture of it on my smartphone.
Right, well, I don't know
I think I have a photographic memory.
what you all need, but you can use anything here. There's still some rooms I've not fully explored, but
Do you have a toothbrush?
probably there's an extra one somewhere. I'm not sure. I didn't fully furnish this house myself. But, yes, if there's anything else I can do to help. I'm sorry I don't have more information about this spirit that you all seem to think you can help get rid of. I
you
hope that
heard?
you can.
Anyone else in town who's encountered her directly? And is still alive?
Not that I know of, but I didn't know so many were encountering her, to be entirely honest.
Mr. Smith, These people that gave you the house, how did they contact you to tell you that you should come?
Well, I got a letter. I was invited to an event of some sort. It was just a soiree with lots of folks in the particular town here in England, and they told me things I didn't expect anyone to know about Sakiona, and said that she may come back and I would be safe here in this house, and that if I stayed here I'd also be helping them, but they didn't really explain it and I didn't ask.
Do you have that letter? Do you have any way of contacting your benefactors?
I don't, no.
Do you know anything of the history of this house?
No, I don't. I was told it was relatively new, to be honest. I don't think it was built all that long ago.
How would it be helping people for you to stay here?
I don't know.
All right. Well, there's got to be some sort of ward or ritual that has been done on this house, some way that is stopping the influx of whatever it is that this has created. Maybe it's simply the placement up on this hill, but I think it's worth our time to search the house, see if there's any sort of signs that there's some sort of setup.
Very well, but I will not be walking through this house alone.
Oh, Vano, be a man.
Strictly said, do not go anywhere alone, and I will follow it to the letter.
Do you want to use Remy? He's a very good bodyguard.
I do not know if a snake counts, and I will not chance it.
Remy, so that is your snake then?
Yeah, it's my snake, Remy.
Okay. Well, that's good, I
Sorry
suppose.
about that. You were a little hard to make inroads with.
Well, you understand now why.
I mean, a little bit, yeah.
Should we ask? Is there something we can ask? Perhaps of the house?
Ask the house.
Ask.
Yes, perhaps we can be pointed in a direction to find answers.
Maybe a room?
Yes.
Sure, something has left enough of an impression here that it can be read.
Do you have architectural plans of this building?
Not that I know of, no.
Right. Well, then I will attempt it.
All right. What do you is that a crystal ball?
It is.
All right.
Surprisingly effective. Hey, can you have your delivery boy bring our bags?
Oh,
Thanks. You're a real Georgia peach.
I don't know what that means, but I think it's positive.
Well, it's a state in America,
Oh,
and I believe the peach is a fruit that is a staple of the state. Staple of the state.
all right.
And so it's become an expression of sorts.
You're absolutely crushing it, Miss Maggie.
They're very sweet.
Your insight
Can I
is
have some silence
preternatural.
for concentration? I need to know what room we should begin our search in. What room contains the answers we seek?
All right. So make your focus roll. And you're still at a -1.
Heck yeah, dude.
Ooh, did you ace it? Wow.
13.
13, that means you got it with a raise, which means you get 2 vision cards. So I can put this back up here. Come on, everything. Come on, everything. Come on. Okay.
Crushing it.
So you're asking what room specifically?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So you look into your crystal ball, waiting for your spirit guide to find the perfect image for you. Your spirit guide is very apt and always wants to make sure that it takes its time to get the correct answer for whatever it is you may be asking. Spirit guide is very, very diligent in their search for the proper images for whatever it is you've requested.
Megan's like, I'm sure glad I made such a vague way to give him notes about stuff.
Do we have to be quiet the whole time or just
Well, just talk amongst yourselves. It's a little low.
low murmur? Okay. Hey, Horace, we should definitely go and check this place for guns. I bet he hasn't looked in every room.
Well, I think you have good common sense there.
That's very well, but if we split up, I'm taking Horace.
But what do you want?
That's super rude, if I'm being wicked honest.
Horace comes with a dog.
I'm fine with babysitting Vano.
And I come with a snake. I don't understand.
I'm a bit clumsy, so you might not want me.
That's fair. I want Miss Maggie on my team. Hey, girl.
But you can maybe give him the snake.
No, I'll give him the snake.
Of course.
Two cold-blooded creatures.
I
tend to not.
like you both very much. To be honest, I like you both much more than Horace, but Horace is the safer bet.
I don't
excuse
like
me.
you very much either.
I believe you're a gambling woman. All right. Gun contest. Who do you think's got this? Me or Horace, who's literally here with a cane? I'm sorry to throw you under the bus.
Well, I'm also literally here with a hunting dog.
You're gonna shoot down some birds with a cane?
Well, I'm simply saying that once I have a gun, being able to hold a cane means nothing as to your abilities with them.
I still don't
Firearm?
understand why do we need guns. What are we gonna do? Shoot books down if they attack us again?
Yes.
Honestly, yeah. It's easier to hit a book with a gun.
The kitchen.
The
We
kitchen.
begin our search in the kitchen.
Okay. You're currently standing in the kitchen.
Well, yes, it seems that we do.
Oh, that's most
That
convenient.
Prescient.
Any other
Ah, yes.
anywhere specifically in the kitchen it shows?
Vano, I
hold
believe
on.
what has happened in
Take
this
Horace.
vision is you simply saw the image of the kitchen reflected through your metallic ball. I mean, through your glass
So
ball.
you know that, especially with this, that is, you know how your spirit guides work, and that means that where you need to begin is where you already are. So it is not something that was a failure. You knew you did well.
We're still going to make fun of you for
Yeah.
it.
You can make fun, but I'm just making sure that he knows that he did get his answer.
Quickly grab Horace, investigate the kitchen, but be safe.
Well,
Yes, you may chuckle and laugh, but I know what I saw. The kitchen is the place we must be first.
Well, it is literally the place that we must be first, because we cannot go anywhere else until we are where we are now. Anyway, let us search.
Okay.
All right.
so you are searching the house for weapons?
I think it's a combination of searching for weapons, but also searching for anything that looks particularly occult that might be like set up as a ward or.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're looking
Searching.
for two different
I am
things.
scanning for
answers.
scissors.
So let's do those. If you're searching for two different things, let's do those as two different roles.
Okay.
So which one do you want to start with?
Answers.
Yeah.
Yeah, scissors is smart.
Yeah, right?
Ooh, thank you,
what?
Min Alien.
Thank you, human alien.
You're searching for scissors?
I want to look for weapons,
I
like
was saying
scissors and
answers.
guns.
Oh, answers. I thought somebody said scissors.
I said
Okay.
scissors.
I do think scissors is a smart thing to have around.
I would rather not have scissors around at this point.
But I
The problem with scissors is that they reduce your pace a lot because you're not supposed to run with them.
Anyway, which thing would you all like to start with?
Yeah.
I think
I'm
the
willing to
protection.
get that dumb.
The protection?
I think the protection on the house, like the sign of the protection on the house. I think if we happen upon a gun,
I'm looking for news about what's to do with this house or with this other spirit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's the
let's
same.
do this one at a time then. So if you all are searching separately, right?
Oh, well, I'm
Or are
searching
you
for
searting
the same
together?
thing. that
Separately,
he's
but
Yeah.
in the
Separately, but
Yeah.
near.
Then one person will make a support roll and one person will make the actual roll.
Okay.
So if you're searching in pairs, then you all can choose, and this is going to be for those of you looking for items, that will be notice.
Cool.
For anyone who's like trying to search for information, that's going to be that would be research.
Okay, I'm gonna
I
research.
think that's how I would do it here. You want to research?
Yeah.
I'm going to look for scissors in the kitchen.
Okay, you two are going together, right?
No,
right?
I thought, no, they're going together.
You're who's going together?
because we're
I
both
missed you,
researching.
Yeah.
Vano and,
Okay, you guys are going together. So
But I think you're looking for something different.
But we're in the same room.
Yeah.
So
Don't
you all
worry.
can choose who wants to do. I mean, you could basically base it on who has the higher. Do either of you have research?
I have a 6.
You have a 6, so you want to support her. So go ahead and make your roll. You'll still be at a -1 with your fatigue. So you got a 2. So that means no plus for you. So that's okay. You can
No
still
plus for
make
you.
your research roll.
Okay.
You're going to crush it.
Ooh, I doubled
you
aced
did
it.
Ooh, you get to roll both of
Nice.
them.
You quite crushed it. Damn it.
No.
So 9.
If only I had had it in
Nine?
my eye and it had popped out with surprise when she had rolled double aces.
Do I get
That would've been
to? Do I
amazing.
get to add them together if you ace? Don't you get to add them together if you double ace it?
No.
I feel like that should be a thing.
I thought I read that. I
We'll
thought
have
I
to talk
read that.
to Clint about that one. No.
I read that.
So,
The rules you sent.
so you're trying to tell me again specifically what you're trying to research for. What are you looking for here?
We're trying to find something like maybe there's symbols or maybe there's some sort of like device, not device, but
You're looking for what the protection is.
yeah, something that would show like what is protecting this house from allowing her to come in, like, keeping her out, like what's keeping her out, what's keeping him protected. If there's something written, if there's I forget the word of like if you have something, but like whatever the charm is, that's
Okay. Yeah. So you are
talisman.
talisman, sure.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, you look about and you actually do notice, you guys are probably just right outside the kitchen in the library, the study. And you guys you notice that there are just kind of some, what looks like a symbol kind of scratched into the corners. And you recognize it, and you're looking about, but you're still really distracted, especially because you're in the library and there are books everywhere. Just so much has happened. You're distracted, you don't feel good, so you don't see these yourself, but you do.
Okay.
And you do notice, and these, you're not entirely sure what they are, but you can tell that they are a mystical origin of some sort. This is something you've come upon before, and you do feel like this is probably what is keeping this house safe.
Where are we? The library or the kitchen?
The library, outside of the kitchen.
Okay.
I found something.
What? What is it?
Look at these signs, these symbols, seeming of mystical origins. I believe this seems familiar. This seems like this would be the protection.
So you're saying this is the protected area of the house?
Interesting.
I don't think it's that this specific area is protected.
I'm not leaving this area.
Wait, just underneath it.
What if we? I wonder how it works. It could be so simple as just the symbols. Otherwise, we could maybe just like draw them onto our person.
What? Do we recognize the symbols?
You recognize them as protection symbols. Are you in there as well now?
I assume we're all in the kitchen still, right?
Oh well, they're in the library.
Oh.
We like poked her in it.
I think if he said like, "Oh, we found something," we can check out.
Definitely.
Yeah, you would recognize, especially you, Horace, would recognize them as symbols you come upon before deemed to be protective.
Thanks.
Well, I've generally found such protective sigils to be superstitious, but I have come to believe that a strong sense of belief does have a certain influence on such entities, as it were.
That's so unhelpful.
Right? I look for scissors or a gun.
Okay, all right. So real quick, we have unlocked the next tier. Thank you very much. Which again, I will not name it because why would I do that?
It's so mysterious.
Oh, and that is all then. Yes, so as you guys are looking closer, you all of a sudden hear this rattling on the window. Oops, there goes that. And it's very startling. And you look closer, and you're over there, Miss Maggie. I found it.
Okay.
Oh, in my die! Hooray! I found it. And you're right by the window, and you look over there, and the window's a bit fogged. It's a bit cold outside, and you all of a sudden see what looks like words forming, and you see someone write, "Get out now."
Guys. I wouldn't say guys.
And as you get closer
fellow friends.
to read it, the window again shakes.
Stay away from the window. It's only safe inside the house.
It says get out now. Can I intuit whether it's like a good spirit telling me that or a bad spirit? If this is like a get out now, if it's like a threatening get out now, or if it's like a trying to help us get out now.
So,
Can I?
In this instance, I would say you could use your automatic writing if you wanted to try and divine that. But beyond that, it's really hard for you to tell.
Since this is like a kind of clear yes or no, maybe this would be a good one to try doing
Yes.
the
Horace?
pendulum divining.
Ooh, yeah.
I just got a sign to look. Get out now.
Get out
Get out
now.
now, but
We just got in.
I know, but I just don't know if, like, it is a good spirit or a bad spirit.
You didn't write this yourself, then?
No, I didn't.
It's bad. The book clearly says the house is the safe place.
All right.
From one spirit, but
Do we have
it
my
looks like we've got at least
what I'm looking
two.
for.
Let me just use my
Just
Do that, yeah, I don't
Okay.
know.
So,
I did not bring my pendulum, but I have found that in a pinch, I have gotten good enough at these that any sort of situation where I can have
Hurry
something.
before the spirit finds its
Yes,
rest.
yes, I have my process. You have yours.
so Horace will take off his. Actually, I kind of like the image of him using his monocle sometimes as like his divining pendulum. So he kind of pulls his.
Well, the idea of the
out.
pendulum is more that's coming from you than it
Yeah.
is the
Right.
your focus. Your energy is focused. Your knowledge is focused in the object.
Yeah. Okay. So he kind of holds out the monocle and just kind of is like,
Right, I have to focus on the question. Does this spirit mean to help us?
I guess what's the best
Does
way to
the
say
spirit
it? Should we
mean to-
trust this, or should
Yeah.
we trust this spirit?
How about the spirit's warning?
Yeah.
I don't know, just in general.
How about
trust the spirit
should we
seems
listen to the
shady.
spirit's warning?
Yeah, that feels
Yeah.
good.
That's how I like it.
Sure.
Should we listen to this warning?
So make your roll.
And also, as Horace like does his pendulum thing, like despite him thinking it as very scientific and him like being I just use this to analyze and focus my own understanding of these things, it does sort of like his eyes kind of like roll back, not fully, but like he does kind of like zone out, and there's clearly like a part of him that like shakes as it's going on, and it does seem very like kind of strange and otherworldly.
Nice.
He's not entirely aware of like all these levels of things that go on. Okay, so I will do my focus roll.
Yes.
I got a 5.
Okay. So as you ask the question and you hold out to find the answer, you hold out your monocle. You notice that it seems a bit unclear. And this happens sometimes, not necessarily because you did anything wrong, but because the answer may be mixed.
Could I try another question?
Yeah?
Does this spirit mean us harm?
You have to make another roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is another use, too. I haven't marked down my PowerPoints, but I have enough to do it twice at least. 7.
7. So you ask the question, you hold out your monocle once again, and again, it comes back a bit unclear, which again makes you feel, the sense you're getting is that the answer is mixed.
What?
I don't know.
What does it say?
I
No.
don't know. It seems there's not a clear answer to the question that's been asked.
Oh, I disagree. I think it is very clear. One spirit throws books, the other one decapitates people. I will take my chance with books.
Bono, your cowardice is, as always, quite inspiring, but it is not helpful in this situation.
It is not your head on the line, Horace.
This instance is another thank you to the spirit guides in chat who unlocked another haunting. Haunted. It's haunted. You guys are haunted. What's that?
We haunted.
You're haunted.
No, you're haunted.
You're haunted.
You're haunted! You're haunted!
Oh man, that is a different kind of Oprah. Thanks.
May I try to find a pen?
To write with? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yep. I mean, you have. Wait, are you? Tell me specifically what you're trying to do.
I would like to find a pen, and I want to mark us all
Ooh.
with the protection symbols.
Oh.
Yes.
Neat.
I would like that, please.
Sure.
Just for
yeah, you can
funsies.
find a pen in here. This is a library. I feel like there's a pen.
Come, Vano. I'm going to write the protective marks on you.
Good. Start with my head.
I don't. You just want every.
Maybe the neck.
Yes.
It's not going to make you any smarter, Vano.
Okay, just write it across his face, on his arm,
Sweet.
on his other arm.
Good.
Yeah, so she writes these all over you.
Maybe
You
on
don't
his
really
nose.
feel any different particularly, but you feel confident because it just feels like one more thing you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the rest of us, I just do a little
Yeah.
little innocuous one,
Yeah.
Sure.
here.
But as she's writing on you, she's on your face, so you're kind of staring at her, and all of a sudden, again, looking at her face is not hers anymore. All of a sudden, you see the woman in white with the mask on, but this time she pulls the mask off, and it's almost as if the face comes flying at you, and she says, "What is she carrying?"
Pull yourself together, Vano!
I saw it again. She came at me and she said the thing.
Ooh, raid! Thank you, Brandon Vale.
Horace is gonna grab Vano by the thing and just give him a light smack across the face.
Pull yourself together, Vano! We've been through situations like this before. Losing your head is going to help none of us!
We've not been in situations like
Grow a spine, man!
I need you to make a fear check. And a -2. Well, -3 with your fatigue.
Do you have children?
No, sadly.
Take it all out on your colleagues then.
As long as it's not St. George.
Is that the,
Don't know what the exact
Oh, sorry, spirit. That's your spirit.
Cool.
Don't mess up my symbols.
Don't smudge the liner. It's protective.
4.
I mean, we could have
4 after my suit. Very good. Yes. So you are very shaken, but you are able to keep it together for now.
I think more symbols. More symbols.
If the symbols haven't helped you so far, they're not going to help just by continuing to have more of them.
You don't know that.
Now, the premise that this house is somehow warded against this spirit seems to be false.
Mr. Smith is still alive.
Mr. Smith is still alive, but if you did just see your vision here, then clearly they are able to influence you all the way in here.
Is he anywhere near here?
Maybe the vision.
Yeah.
is-
He's not
it's-
right now.
Cool. Mr. Smith is lying about something. Just obviously.
What?
Yeah.
I don't think he knows, maybe. But also, a vision is different than, like, her
That's a good point.
physical presence.
I can't help but think that there's more. This is not a coincidence, him being here and just showing up again.
Yes, obviously not.
Now, clearly he has something in this house that might lead us to finding out that there's more going on.
Are you suggesting we leave the library?
I am suggesting we go wherever we need to find out what we can do to stop these people from dying.
So as you all are talking, Mr. Smith comes in with a tray. I brought more tea and some refreshments. I don't know if you need. Did someone write on the window? Does that say "Get out now"?
Yes.
Did you all do that?
No.
No.
Must have been one of your dogs.
What are my dogs?
Let's not be ridiculous.
It's because your house is a bit haunted.
Well, it wasn't until you four got here, to be entirely honest. I've not run into anything like this.
Well, and do say turning the other cheek does help avoid hauntings.
All right, Mr. Smith. So you have not explored this house entirely. Did you bring anything with you from Japan, from your childhood? Anything that may have carried the impressions of this spirit with you?
I don't believe so outside of myself. As far as I know, she, like I said, goes after anyone she's marked.
These wards, these symbols on the walls, did you put them there yourself?
Whoa, what symbols? What are you referring to?
I take out my cane and I thwack it like a teacher showing someone something on a chalkboard. At
Oh, no, I've not ever seen that. Is that what's keeping the house safe?
I cannot say for sure, but it certainly is something that certain people would believe would keep somewhere safe.
Is that why he's got all that written all over his face as
Well,
Yes.
never be too
is.
cautious.
Oh, is that how it works?
I don't know.
No.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Perhaps before the sun sets, we should finish our explorations and then sleep here.
Well, I will say if you are planning to use that banishing spell, you're not going to be able to do so in this house.
What do you mean?
You can't be in her presence if you're in this house.
Oh.
I feel as though there's got to be something other than what we've understood here. Is there anyone else in the town who knows anything about this? Some event that triggered these sightings? You've lived here for some time now, yes?
Not that long, a few months at most.
But she wasn't. These fogs didn't come at night and kill people when you first moved in.
Well, they didn't kill people, but they did come quite often.
And was there all this talk of curfews and...
No, the curfews began when everyone started seeing what I assume is her about town.
And when was that?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm not a part of the town. I've stayed here. Mostly what I hear is from any deliveries I get.
Is any part of Kuchisake Ona's myth tied to mist?
Not that I've ever heard.
Okay.
It sounds like the mist is just something that the people are endowing with some sort of mystical
Yes.
thing, and it sounds like
Beliefs are powerful.
she did come with Mr. Smith. It was around the same time. I think we need to speak with some of the others in town as well.
I mean, do you want to try to risk it tonight? Not you.
I don't know. We would be breaking the law, and the policeman did say.
I think
not
the
to
law
do
is the
that.
least of our worries.
Well,
what we should be worried about is the spirit that decapitates people and cuts their faces.
Well, as you've seen, if Kutsaki Ona cannot get the person she's marked, she does seem to go after someone else. So, by the way you look, and by what I understand, if it's not you, someone will die tonight.
So, like, this whole town is dying because she couldn't get to you?
I think that may be the case, yes.
choices between me dying or somebody else.
Yes.
Don't say it, sugar. I know what you're thinking, and we're all thinking it. But we will all think better of you if you just let that thought die on the wind. Be strong.
We can use Vano as a bit of bait.
This is not a fishing expedition.
Look, Vano, if it is correct that she is coming to you here in the house, you're not safe here anyway. Perhaps confronting the issue head-on is the only way to truly deal with what
It's
is
the head-on that's really getting to him, I think. Because it makes me giggle.
Maybe
Think of it this way,
I could
Vano.
stand right on the porch and she appears. Let's take a step backwards into the house.
Yes.
She just comes and then we say it 1,000 times.
You can't do it on the porch with the
not?
door open.
Well,
You can't just step back into the house with her out there. I don't know how these work, but I don't want her to get into this house. You could do it outside, but just not in here.
So you can watch me die from the peephole in the door?
No, I don't want to watch you die. You can run back in, but it's safe here. I don't want to die either.
Well, if she can't come in, why doesn't he just stand in the doorway? And she would come, and then she wouldn't be able to
I
come
don't
in.
know
and we
that's
say
how
a
it
1,000
works.
times. Well, we could find out.
So I could stand just on the path, and if you see me screaming and running from the door, that is the cue to open it.
Yes, I would be willing to try that.
What if the benefactor was a key to this? Maybe I could divine the benefactor's name and we could figure it out and maybe talk to them about it. Because there's something missing here, though. Why would Mr. Smith have a benefactor of just this house? And why would this benefactor care about keeping Mr. Smith safe?
And putting the rest of the town at risk.
I do not know.
You said there were areas of this house you have not yourself explored.
I mean, I've been about most of the house, but there may be some rooms I've missed, or I didn't go through everything when I first got here.
Well, whatever is to happen, it seems that this woman only appears at night. Correct?
How much time do we have before nightfall?
At this point, it's getting pretty late in the day. You're getting pretty close to nightfall.
Do we have like an hour or two if we wanted to like do a search of the house? And,
You could do a search of the house.
Sweet.
All right. So I think maybe we should just like split up. We can split up into two groups. Do a search of the house, just like see if there's any more basically information about what makes this house safe, or like what the people who put Mr. Smith here.
Why
like,
they wanted him.
what their
here.
intention was with the house.
Yeah.
And then,
Well, I think our only option after that is to use the Vano as bait plan.
What did this letter say?
The letter was just asking me to come to this soiree and that they had a business proposition of some sort.
And who signed it?
I don't remember specifically. It was from the location of the event. It was some building that they rented out for the soiree.
Should I try to divine the name? Do you know the name one more time before I try to divine?
I don't know the name of who these people are. I didn't ask, and they didn't seem to want to give it anyway.
Well, I'd like to ask our helpers.
It's worth a shot.
And don't forget, you saw this mystic coin.
oh,
Which can give you a plus
well,
one.
let's say that
search
while she does that divining, Vano and I will start just kind of searching the house. Just
Did I
at
ever
the same
find
time.
scissors?
Right, you didn't make that roll. So make your search roll for scissors.
Scissor search.
Scissor search. It's the strongest search.
Scissors.
Yeah.
you aced
Before
it.
exploded
Nice.
and turned into a
Right, very nice. Yes, you kind of pull open some drawers here and there. You do find a pair of scissors.
Cool. All right.
Sheer good luck.
Okay, so let's.
Nice.
You go ahead and make your focus
Okay.
roll.
Okay.
Wow, you aced it on both
Wait.
die.
These
You have
dice
been-
are
Wait.
so hot.
Right, you've aced so much.
Yeah, do the
let's
pop.
pretend like you just rolled it. Okay.
Yeah, boy. What?
You aced it again on that one.
16. All right, so 19.
Wow.
You barely made it, but good job.
You move into this trance, and it happens really fast. It's like you're completely in tune, and you write out the word consequence.
Oh, we got that earlier, didn't we? She wrote consequence.
Man's consequence.
Then
Yeah.
the benefactor's name is Consequence.
Wait.
The
The question we asked earlier when that word thing came up,
was why
it was what brought this thing here? What?
man's consequence. Man's consequence.
Maybe we've been thinking about that phrase incorrectly. We thought it was man's actions had created something going on, but perhaps it's a name.
Yeah.
Consequence.
It's worth investigating at least.
So, as
Does that
that.
mean anything? Sorry.
Oh, you're asking Smith?
Yes. Name's
So, I
consequence.
mean, I know the meaning of the word, but beyond that, no.
I see.
So, you all are searching?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so whoever wants, if you want to support or you both want to search, you can do it either way.
Are we doing? What are we using for this?
You would be. What are you searching for?
Just
You're searching
generally.
for items, right?
Yeah, we're
So
searching
notice.
for like any. Okay, yeah. What's your notice?
6.
6. Okay, it's the same. So.
I would recommend then you probably do it since
Yeah,
you have
I
your
got
negative
that.
one.
He's a tired boy.
Well, we're pretty much the same. I have -1 to sight base.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So either way, you can both just make it whatever you
Here,
want.
you can support because you're all scared. Sure.
3.
3. He's
right.
still scared.
Yes.
Aced it.
Nice.
That was a good feeling roll too. It had like a nice.
It was very powerful,
All right.
gesture-wise.
Like, yeah, and it kind of did like a
Yeah.
thing. It was perfect. That is a 6 total.
Okay.
Nice.
And you're looking for what specifically?
Any sign of the people who like would have put him in this house? Anything that seems different about this house that might be like warding him off? I guess this is not an era we would find like cameras or anything, but like anything that
I mean, if you did.
yeah, we would be
Yeah.
shocked. They'd be like giant and full of like 35mm film that's just been running for. Yeah, sign of like the previous people who were here, and anything that might seem occult.
So looking about the
Connected
house,
to Consequence.
this house is big, but it's not so big that you can't manage to kind of search through it. It's well furnished, but it's fairly sparse. It's not overly cluttered with decor or things like that. So it doesn't take you very long to go through things. Nothing stands out to you. I mean, like he said, as you look about, this looks like a new house, at least newer. It doesn't look necessarily like it's been inhabited before. The most mystic thing you notice is more of those symbols about the house, the protection.
And they're all
symbols.
over the place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly in corners, especially on outside walls.
And it seems these rudimentary wards are...
And for just a moment, we have a message from the Great Beyond. This one comes from Spirit Guide Vampire 54. The spirits demand balance. Cheers to that.
Cheers!
Cheers.
Thank you, Vampire 54. Yes, so
Quick, we're gonna do a handstand.
so beyond that, yeah, you don't really notice anything.
I've yet to find anything. Well, Vano, chin up. I'm going to make it through this.
You do notice the sun seems to be beginning to set.
I do think maybe we would be safer here for the night, but it doesn't happen every night that she takes someone's life. It's every single night.
But
I mean, that's two in one or at least. No, it
it's
wasn't
one
two.
each night that we have been here.
Yeah.
Well, no.
We don't
we
know.
showed
no,
up.
Came on the
little
funeral.
Andrew.
Came on the funeral, so
But that was the night before.
Yeah.
maybe we do have. Maybe she would spend the night searching, and
And if she did not find Vano, she would find some innocent in the town and slaughter them.
well, maybe she would mark them first, though. She wouldn't just slaughter them.
Is that a chance you're willing to take?
I think we need to.
I think we need more data.
I would love to talk to Mr. Street.
I don't know if we have...
We do not have.
I don't think we have the luxury to continue to gather data. We are putting people's lives on the line.
Yes.
What would you suggest we do then?
I believe we should face this head on. We know something we can say to try and stop it.
And if we fail?
If we fail, then we will die. If we don't fail, so other people will die. I believe the only proper course of action is to put ourselves in the line of duty.
Are you comfortable with that, Lana?
No.
Vano, I've had fluctuating levels of respect for you throughout our relationship with each other. You know that to be true.
Yes.
But when the going got tough at Bainbridge,
Yes.
I admit you impressed me. More than I expected. Don't prove that part of me wrong.
I think I was shipping the wrong couple.
There is a reason I am called the Great Vano.
You made that name up, Vano.
I will do this task. I will do it. And I will remember who saved this town.
All right. Then we go into the night to face our adversity head on,
Yes.
like England always does.
But not too far into the night. Maybe 20 feet.
No, let's be reasonable.
Before you head out, make it a call roll.
Okay.
No, let's be reasonable.
I got a 5.
Okay. So before you head out, just trying to think about any preparations you feel like you could make. You remember that it is fairly common that salt is a good deterrent for spirits.
Oh yeah, like a circle of salt kind of thing. All right, so I'll go to the kitchen and get a thing of salt, and I guess is my impression that if we set up the salt, it might mess things up, or like is this sort of a thing we should use as a
I mean, as far
escape cord?
as far as you know, I mean so as you all were saying, talking about this, you need time to be able to chant this out. So it's possible that it could, if you utilize the salt, it could give you a bit of a barrier. It may not stop the spirit entirely, but it could be used as at least to slow her down.
I found in my experience that salt has properties that absorb ectoplasmic residue, which can often lead to something of a diminished impact of such entities. So we will take this and create a basic circle around you. and I believe that simple geometric protection should at least provide a little bit of assurance that you'll come out of this alive.
All right. So, yes, I stand there, and the spirit comes, and we recite the mantra.
Say it for us.
1,000 times.
As
Yeah.
well, if each of us recite the mantra, we each recite it 250 times.
I've got a
To
bit of a
speed up the
draw.
process.
We will continue saying the mantra until it ceases to be necessary.
I mean, I could try to summon the
It's coming
spirit
undone right now.
in a diminished capacity through my ectoplasm.
It's worth a shot. It does seem tremendously dangerous. Creatures like this do not like to be manipulated.
I mean, I'd rather her be gooey than here in all of her stunning glory.
All right, well, you know how your certain approach works better than I do.
Do I?
Well, so
I assume you do.
are you all? You do.
Yeah.
I think you've got a ghost allergy.
Yeah, that's you.
There's a ghost.
Ghost
So you all are planning to go outside to.
Yes.
Okay, so it is night is falling at this point. You head out. All right. So as you head outside, it is a dark and foggy night, of course.
I put on all black shawls because I don't.
So you can blend in.
Yeah, I want to blend in case there's police.
Oh, very good.
I admonished the dogs for not barking when that ghost was writing "Get Out" on the window. Like, y'all need to do your jobs just a little bit better. Come on now.
They kind of whimper.
Yeah, it's
They don't-
okay. It's okay. I know it's very spooky.
So,
St. George is just not scared of ghosts anymore. He's like, oh, ghosts.
you all head down the path, and you're prepared because you don't entirely know what you're going to run into, and especially Vano, I assume you are ready.
Yeah, I'm just like-
ready for anything, and you want to try to call the spirit. So you all find a spot that you feel like is good. It's close enough to the house, but far enough away. Smith requested that it wasn't too close, but close enough for you to try and run back if the need arises. And the air, it feels tense, but you don't see anything. Everything seems normal, but then Remy seems to become a bit agitated. You're ready to prepare your trance, but you do notice that. And then St. George starts to look about. And Vano,
What is it more?
down the path, you see a woman in white, and you hear in your ear, what is she carrying? But she's there. And then you all turn around and you see her as well. And it looks like she's starting to come closer.
Steel yourself, Vano.
Say it.
I'm gonna start saying the mantra over. and over.
Yeah.
So, this is going to be a dramatic task. So that means that you all have 3 rounds. You must get 13 successes within those 3 rounds. You all are working towards this dramatic task together. That doesn't necessarily mean that you all have to do the chant. You can do other things. But you are using your skills. It's whatever skill that you can justify at your turn. All right? So we will go into a bit how this works. For dramatic tasks, I will deal you an initiative card. And you will go in that order. And if you get a club, there's a complication. And you are also rolling at a -2.
What was your real name? Because I know it, right? Because I've called you it before.
Yes.
Pass a
I do
note,
think you
but-
know it.
Do you want to like write it down and throw it over?
All right.
Yes,
So,
that's
sorry,
right.
sorry.
I have no idea what you're talking about. His name is the Great Bono.
There's
Bono,
like
comma,
first
the
you
Great.
got a jack of spades.
Noise.
Ooh, a jack of hearts.
Ooh.
3 of spades. And a 6 of spades. So
Yeah.
many spades.
Nice.
All right. So this is the first round. Again, you must get 13 successes. Raises count as another success.
Cool.
And yes, I believe that is it.
That got
to
too
begin.
spooky.
Again, you can use any skill as long as you can justify it. So you all are standing here, and she is coming closer to you, and she begins to remove her mask. And even at this distance, you can see that her mouth is more open than it should be. Her tongue is lolling out, and there's blood dripping down the cut in her cheek. She is coming and she is focused directly on you. You can see she begins to pull some scissors. Something is glinting in the moonlight.
I'm just gonna try to concentrate incredibly hard on repeating this as fast as I can.
Okay, so you're repeating that. So, in this instance, what skill? I think we will do. Do you have a cult?
I have a cult.
Let's do focus.
Yeah,
So we'll
I was
do
thinking focus is probably
Focus.
justified in that one.
Yeah.
I'm going to focus.
So you're still rolling at your -1.
I have 2 ideas of what I want to do.
Oh,
And one is better
Yeah,
than the other.
that's 7. So that's 1 success. All right. So give me your. Oh, we weren't doing this in order, but that's okay. Let's see. You have hearts, and actually we are doing it in order. Good job.
You did it right, and I'm proud.
You did it right. Okay, so next will be you.
Sweet. I think Esme's gonna pick up the scissors and like mirror her motions and say her words back to her. Just, what does she hear?
Okay.
Just to throw her off her game. I don't know.
Yeah. No.
That's
That's, so do you have taunt?
I don't.
Intimidation.
Yeah, intimidation
Nope.
will also work. Then we'll do. Would you have performance and persuasion?
I have performance and persuasion.
Yeah.
Can I
Yeah,
persuade her that
seems.
I understand what she's going for?
Yeah.
Like it's
For sure.
It's a little sympathetic, not quite taunting.
So make a persuasion roll then. All right, that's a 5, so that is 1 success. Oh, and I do, if you all don't know, you can use bennies to get a different initiative card. So you can choose which one you want.
Right.
All right, so next we will go over to Horace.
All right. So Horace sees her coming. And he's just like, all right.
Vano, stay strong. You can do this, Vano. Do you want to be the great Vano, or do you want everyone to know that you died as Tommy Beckwith? Because if you don't keep through this, and you die, I'm going to tell the papers that the man who is dead is named Tommy Beckwith. But if you stick with it, even if she kills you, I will tell them you are the great Vano and you are a great man. Do you understand me? This will determine your reputation.
I want to try and use intimidation on Vano to help
To get
the
him to
situation.
continue. Okay,
What a friend.
sure.
And did you say we're rolling at a -2?
Only if you have a club. Only if you get a club.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
All right. So I'm rolling my intimidation.
Okay.
No! Crit fail!
Oh no!
That gets rid of one of your successes.
Oh.
So it backfires on you, and you're just agitating him, making him. He's getting more and more nervous.
I think
the
it was
more you
worth
do
a
that.
shot.
It's definitely worth a shot. Yes, a crit fail will cause you to lose a success. So now you just have 1 success.
Oh gosh, I think I see like he gets rattled and he's like sort of stumbling with his words. So I'm going
No
to
worries.
pick up and I'm gonna focus.
Have your card.
And just take over, and I'm gonna just start saying the mantras
Okay.
as much as I can too. Like,
So-
to try to, in case he stumbles with it, I'm gonna, I'm just gonna help him.
Yeah.
Say it.
Sounds good. Go for your roll focus as well. So that's a 4. That's a success. You can always try to re-roll to get a raise, but there's always a chance that you can crit fail.
Okay, I'll keep.
And don't forget, you guys still have this. I mean, that is a plus
Yeah.
to your focus, and in this instance,
We could use it.
yep. It's very helpful from the spirit guide.
All right.
I'm good. I'm good.
That's 1 round. How much do we
That's,
have and how much do we need?
You have a 1 success, you need 13 and 3
How many
rounds.
rounds?
I thought we had
3?
2. You got one.
Oh wait,
Yeah, but
3
you
rounds.
lost one. You lost one because you had a crit fail.
Wait, but didn't you get one too?
Yeah, just now.
But it's only 3
Okay.
rounds.
3 rounds.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm gonna re-roll that.
Yeah,
time.
we need to get some successes.
Yeah.
I would re-roll,
those
but
raises.
Here's
I
the
can't.
Benny. 13. Oh,
We could do it. We could do it.
Savage Worlds.
So whenever you re-roll, unless it's a crit fail, you take your higher roll or whichever roll you want. So you
Oh,
don't
cool.
lose a
Sweet.
success there. Yeah. You still get the 1 success. You
This
can
is,
always.
This is just round 1.
Did you re-roll?
We
with
got
a
another
Benny?
chance
You can
did.
still re-roll with a table re-roll if you want,
if you want.
or you can re-roll with another Benny.
Table re-roll?
Might as well.
Okay.
Let's do it.
You already got 1 success, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we need that.
Always a chance for the crit fail. But
No, it's fine. Don't let her. Don't listen to that.
still a success.
Yeah, I don't think.
All right.
Okay, so
Believe
you
it.
have
The dice aren't loving me.
2 successes. So that is round 1. Now, She is still very focused on you, and she has come a lot closer. And at this point, she pulls out her scissors, and she's going to go to try to attack you with them. Yep. But we have to figure out.
No, thank you.
Oh yeah, she loves that. She loves this.
What about my salt barrier?
Did you guys put it down?
We didn't put the salt down. She
Did you put the salt down?
Yeah, we put the salt.
You did? Oh, okay, yeah. Then she's gonna go over and try, but she's going to. You're gonna notice she kind of gets
Good.
stopped.
We made a circle of salt that we are inside.
Oh, you're all
of
inside
us?
it. Okay.
I thought so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it works for me.
Yep.
Okay. Then instead, what she does, she comes over and you do see that she does that. But then all of a sudden, everything starts to, the leaves, the sticks, the leaves, the grass, the dirt on the ground starts to move around. Rocks come into the air and are picked up. And it looks like there's some sort of cyclone of things that are blowing around, and she's getting it close to the salt. You can see the salt is starting to blow away. All right, so... Yes. But for now, it will stay there, trying to get at the salt. So now we will go on to the next round. So you get a 3 of diamonds, a king of spades,
That'll work.
a 6 of clubs,
Ooh.
Shit.
and a queen of diamonds. So
All right.
you can always... Oh, here, I can take your other card. You can always give me a Benny to try and draw a different card so you don't have that club. Because if you crit fail on a club, the whole thing fails.
What?
Just so you know.
Oh my goodness.
It is quite dangerous. 7 of spades. There you go.
Yeah.
My favorite
All right.
part of the
All right.
deck.
Am I first?
I'm a king.
King. Yes, Esme is first. So you do see that this energy, this wind seems to be, and it's kind of circling around her. So you suspect it's coming from her,
Cool.
but is trying to slowly blow away that salt.
Sweet. I want to take some of the salt that we still have on us and like dip the scissors in it and then throw the scissors at her.
Throw the scissors at her.
I couldn't find a gun, so I'm gonna shoot scissors with my hand.
All right, I like that. So you're throwing, so it's going to be a throw roll.
Can I use shooting?
Not for
I
this.
don't
instance.
have throw.
But you do have. What is
I have
your
five.
edge?
My edge is ignoring up to 2 points of athletics throwing or shooting penalties.
Yeah, so you won't take. You don't have throw at all. You won't take the penalty for it.
Okay,
Basically,
sweet.
so you can roll with a d4 and your wild die at normal.
All right. Be good. 1 success. But I could try for better, yeah?
Yep.
You could.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Might as well.
Ooh, you aced
There
it.
we go.
Yeah. All right. Come on. High roll.
All right, that's a 9.
So that's 2
Yes.
successes.
Yes. Okay.
Very
We're working our
good.
way towards it. Now we
right.
only need 9.
Oh my god, when you
Right?
say it like that, it feels
I think
bad.
it's 10. How many do we?
You have 4. So you need 13
9.
total.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
9. So
Right.
you cover the scissors in salt and you just throw them at her. And as you do that, at first she doesn't seem like she's worried, but as they get closer, it just seems she kind of pushes back a little bit and looks at you, and you can't tell if it's hissing, but it kind of seems like it would be hissing if she had a normal mouth. All right, I will take your card, and the next one is Horace.
Get a horse.
All right, Vano, come on. This is Sanskrit, not Hebrew. Follow my pronunciation and cadence.
And I want to try and use my occult skill to like help guide him through saying the incantation properly.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Because I got good occult.
Oh, you aced it.
Yes, I found that one. Didn't do great on the other, but yes.
That's out of the
All right.
That's out of the box.
So that is a 13.
So that's
That's a
Two
success
raises?
with 2 raises.
2 raises. Yep.
There we
So
go.
that's 3 successes.
Yes.
The 3
Yes.
successes this round, and a total of
7.
7. So we're halfway there,
All right.
You have 7. All right.
and
so
we're also almost literally halfway through the.
Opportunities here.
all right. Next it is you, Miss Maggie.
Okay. I'm going to use my writing. I am going to take my paper and I'm going to divine something that I can write and hold up to her that would throw her off, or maybe drawing a picture of her lover. I think like that's probably what I would want to do is like draw a picture of like her lover, not the husband.
Okay, so this actually brings up a point. Normally in a combat like this, it would take you too long to be able to use your spell. So I actually did that wrong last time. But if you want to, you can still tap into and try and sort of use your intuition, your spiritual intuition to give you. I don't think you would have time to draw out a picture, but if you wanted to write a word or like maybe an answer to her question that you feel like might.
Or like maybe his name, like her lover's name.
You could try. You would really have to divine that. I think that would be harder for you to get in this instance. But you could try to do like some sort of answer or a, like you said, like a word that might confuse.
Like maybe. What if I just wrote maybe?
Yeah.
What if I just yeah
for sure.
Like give me the answer. Like maybe I can just like divine like an answer to give her that would throw her off.
Yeah, maybe could work.
Okay.
You could try maybe.
Okay. So would that still be focus?
Yeah, roll your focus.
Get it.
And of course, there's still this mystical coin.
Yeah.
Everyone's super excited.
I think we're saving that in case we're like real desperate.
Reminding you, wow, you ate down on both dice.
Wait.
These
Come on, give me one second.
dice, they're
Jeez,
so
you
good.
have to warn me for your.
Oh. Please gift that. I need that.
Wow! Aced
he
it
was ready
again
this
on
time.
both die.
I was totally ready.
Wow.
We don't
That's
roll
already a
yet.
16.
She can't help it.
These die, they are pretty insane. Wow.
All right.
So
Okay.
16 plus 7.
16 plus 7, 23.
Nice.
By 4, so it's 5.
That's
so that's
5 total.
4 raises.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's 4. It's all every 4 above.
Very
Yep.
good.
Is that
Golly,
5
yeah.
raises? What you said?
4 raises.
4 raises.
Successive 4 raises.
So 5 successes.
You are
Just
a
need-
What did I write?
Smashing Miss Maggie.
You, like, it turned into a calligraphy pen.
You need one more success.
What did I write? What was the
Maybe. You wrote
I
maybe.
wrote maybe.
And whenever you did, she kind of she was focusing on trying to get the salt to blow away, and she kind of stops. Almost like you've just completely confused her.
All right. It's all done to Vano. Come on, Vano.
All right.
Say it like I told you. Say it like I told you,
Like a
Vano.
little thrown off after the last like failure, but I'm going to like remember what it's like to be on stage in front of like hundreds of people. And I'm gonna just like throw down my like big, loud, projecting voice and like
Nice.
give it everything I've got.
Yeah,
Sweet. Okay, I like it.
Actually, it will. Because that's a 6 minus 1, so
6
5.
minus 1, 5. That
Yes.
is the final success. So as you see, everyone is trying to fight her, trying to push her back, and then all of a sudden, as you stand up and you project more at her, everything stops. The wind stops. And she begins to scream, and you hear her say, well, you assume it's no, but she's not speaking in English. And she yells, and all of a sudden the ground opens up beneath her, and you see this bright red light come out, and she starts to be pulled down, and she's trying to claw at the ground, but all of a sudden the land closes around her, and all is still. And you notice, looking at Vano, that his rash is gone. He looks completely normal. Completely healthy.
You're looking good.
You've done it.
the great Vano?
I clap him on the back with like a good jolly bah!
What was that?
Good show, old boy. Good show.
Thank you.
What was his name?
It is Vano.
Did you say
I'm the
Tommy?
great.
No, I believe I said the great Vano.
Thank you, Horace.
I see.
I believe we have done it together.
So as you all are celebrating, because you defeated Kutsaki Onna, you see back at the house, you kind of see at the window, you just see what looks like Aiko, and he's just kind of peering out the glass, but he hasn't opened the door. Or
He is
anything.
the worst. Just officially, y'all. He is the worst, and I just want to say it.
The cookies were very dry.
I think I'm ready.
The biscuits, yeah.
Biscuits. What's cookie?
We're British biscuits. Biscuits.
Biscuits.
Where I'm from, they're called cookies. These are dry as hell.
I think I am ready for a good night's sleep tonight. And I'll walk back towards the door.
Okay. Are you all following?
Miss Maggie, as we walk, Miss Maggie, you were amazing out there. Just, I don't know why I came across the ocean for these suckers. I should have been looking for you.
Let's, of course, not get too complacent.
I know,
She's
I do
been gone before and come back, but...
One sweep around.
I do...
Before we
Okay.
answer.
No, of course. I do think that, of course, this calls for a glass of sherry.
It was very impressive, yes?
Yes, so as you go back up to the house, Aiko kind of opens his thought and, did it work?
Look at Vano's face.
Yes, look at
He's gone.
Ignore the ink.
Oh. So he opens the door. All right, come in quickly, just in case, quickly.
I walk through slowly.
I do want to, before I go in, I sort of turn around and I want to scan. I do want to do a notice. Just
As far as you can tell, it looks normal. Except for the salt you all left on the ground. But beyond that, yeah. So...
Oh,
Yes?
I forgot I was level-headed, so I could have gotten more action cards.
Oh, you could have. I apologize for that. Next time!
No, I forgot.
So he says, did it work? It looked like she was there, and it looks like everything is gone, and maybe you did it. You saved this whole town and got rid of her. This is amazing!
As usual, a level head and a calm, solid approach to these things tends to work out quite well.
I suppose so.
skilled magician.
Well, whatever it is you did, I am eternally grateful for you. You're more than welcome to stay here as long as you need and use whatever you need in the house.
Ooh. Are we going to bring up the fact that, you used the mantra to banish her, but she came back?
Well, she did, but this was 35 years ago.
Oh,
So at the
okay.
very
When
least-
you're old.
Maybe we have bought these people some time.
Maybe.
And I will publish a
Will be
paper.
safe for his entire life.
I will publish a paper on the matter, and it will become a common academic knowledge to deal with such a manifestation, as it were. And if all works out, then whoever comes next will know what to do, because my works will have been so well known that people will just simply know, oh yes, Sanskrit. That's how you deal with the what does she carry lady.
Well, I hope that she does not come back and this is the final time, but...
Yes, well, never hurts to be prepared.
I agree. I think we should be prepared, but I am very grateful to you all, and I hope that you all get a good night's sleep this evening.
Well,
So...
before sleeping, perhaps some celebration.
Oh, yes, and he
Jazz?
goes to open... well, I do have a radio. over
I can't
there.
stand the jazz music, but I am open to whatever.
Yeah, so you can play a little bit of jazz. And he has some whiskey and things that he breaks out, and you all can celebrate, and you spend the night. This is the most relaxed you felt for a time, so you all are able to celebrate your victory, and then later you do head to bed. He does have plenty of rooms, very nice soft beds,
Nice.
much nicer than the inn, and you all go to sleep for the night.
Miss Maggie, do you know how to Charleston?
Oh, I do.
Okay, we're going to teach these boys how to cut a rug.
I doubt it. I was quite the dancer back in my day, but only proper dancing.
Okay, well, we don't do any of that where I'm from. Try this. Starts doing jitterbug shit.
Unbecoming.
I know, right?
It sounds like the sort of dancing Miss Potter would have been into.
I don't know who that is, but she sounds like a gas.
That was her name, right?
Who?
Heather's character?
Oh, Baker.
Miss Baker would have been into, yes. Right.
She sounds amazing.
She
Seems
was,
like you have been carried bodily upon the backs of the women.
well, I've known her since she was quite small, and
We tell them about. We regale them with tales of the Bainbridge encounter.
I get a little jealous.
You would probably have Elliot.
There's no need to
And
be
Madame
ashamed
Moody.
about being upon women's backs, Horace.
So
I
this
set myself up
continues
for that.
well into the night, and then eventually you all do retire for the evening, and everyone sleeps very soundly on this lovely evening. But then the camera zooms in to Vano's room, and moving over to his face, he does roll over and a beam of moonlight once again hits his face, and you see that the rash reappears. And that is where we will end. Join us next time for the exciting conclusion of Mysterium Hidden Signs. Thank you all very much.
Poor Vano.
And one thing I want to say, with Suede, the Adventure Edition throwing is actually governed by athletics now. So
okay.
that was
I do
my
have
mistake,
athletics.
but I
Cool.
do want to throw that out there just as a note. So thank you all so very much for joining us this evening and for just being here. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to Dom for running everything behind the camera.
Yay!
Appreciate it. Yes, and why don't we go around real quick and just tell everybody who you are again and where they can find you real quick. We'll start over here.
Hi, my name is Jordan Pridgen. You can follow me on Twitter at Jordan Pidgeon. I'm normally, tomorrow you can see me here on Saving Throw Show at 8 p.m. for Mana Dorks, where me and Grav Gulati play some MTG Arena, Magic the Gathering. Normally, I'm on Wildcards on Fridays, but we are between seasons right now, so we're taking a bit of a break.
We'll
But
be back June 22nd.
Yeah, so join us then, or catch up on the old stuff.
Very true.
Yes. Hi, I'm Jessie Hendricks. You can find me. Why, I'm right here. I got jokes.
That was amazing. I can't follow that.
I'm at Jessie Science, Jessie Science on Twitter. There's no reason to follow me now.
Also, go to your website, jessiesgotjokes.biz.
Yeah.
.biz.
Yeah,
That's the joke right there.
it's one of my favorite jokes.
That's good. Yes. That's all.
Nice. I'm Aabria Iyengar, and you can catch me when I'm not here. I'm over at Happy Jack's RPG playing Demigods on Sundays, and every other Wednesday playing Chronicles of Darkness with all the splats together. It's really fun.
Yeah, you're a badass girl. You could play some demigods, you know? Oh, it's a game. Oh, it's a game. I thought you just meant like playing demigods, you know?
I'm Philip Rossi. You can follow me on Instagram at Philip Rossi, Phillips with one L, at Philip J. Rossi. Just probably give them the right Instagram. Smart.
What about Twitter?
Nope. You can follow me on Twitter and go back to 2014 and see what I was saying.
It's the same. It's the same handle on Twitter, and I still tag him in everything. So eventually, he's gonna get on Twitter and be like, "Oh my god!"
In
I
fact,
love it.
Tweet at me. Definitely tweet at me, and I'll check it out.
I mean, how long can Twitter really hold on to the notifications? That's what I want to know.
If I
You
get
know?
What did
30
you
tweets before next week, I'll put it back on my phone.
Ooh.
Boom.
What was
Let's
your
make it
last
real.
2014 tweet?
I
It's
have
like,
no
oh,
idea.
I'm so excited for like insert 2014 movie here.
You know what's still great? Game of Thrones.
Uh-oh. My name is Meghan Caves, and you can find me at Meghan Caves on Twitter, and mostly on Twitter. Yes, this Wednesday. Actually, before we end, we have one more message from the Great Beyond.
Yes.
So everyone raise a glass. This
spirit.
one is from the Spirit Guide, Siamath Piernkoth.
Yes.
In the black wind, the stars shall die, and still on gold here let them lie, till the Dark Lord lifts his hand over Dead Sea and withered land.
Ooh.
Cheers.
Wow.
Thank you.
Nice.
Cheers.
Spirit Guide.
Cheers.
Look at these. These are great tweet ideas.
Indeed.
That's what I'm gonna put on Twitter.
Yeah,
Get this just really obscure, weird, creepy poetry. That's what my whole handle's gonna be about.
Just double down on like weird Twitter. Bring that back.
So, do please tune in. We have more shows for you. Like Jordan said, we do have Mana Dorks tomorrow night. If you would like to watch some Magic the Gathering fun, don't we have something fun on Wednesday, Dom? Something fun on Wednesday. It's going to be real fun. You're going to have to come and check it out to learn what it is. Just saying. And of course, another thing that we do have coming up on June 22nd, I think I said June 22nd for Wildcards coming back. It's actually 21st. The 22nd is a Saturday, and we will have the Longest Day Marathon, which is the Alzheimer's Association, their big event to raise money to fight Alzheimer's. This is a very, very personal thing for me and many of us here at Saving Throw. So put it on your calendar. Please join us. It's going to be so much fun. I'm going to be GMing. Aabria will be GMing. We have a few other folks who will be GMing, and we're going to have a lot of fun people joining us. We're going to have prizes. It's going to be a big event. It's going to be an all-day event. We normally do 24 hours, but this time we're just going to do daytime, so nobody has to stay up late because nobody wants to do that, and we're going to get just as much out of our good solid 16 hours. So please join us for that. Also, follow the hashtag STS versus ALZ. That is where we will be sharing stories of loved ones. One of the big pushes here is awareness. Alzheimer's does not have enough money backing it, and I cannot tell you how prevalent it is. It is so prevalent. I've had 4 family members, 3 of them lost to it. 1 is losing the battle now. So, and this is common. This is so common. So please share your stories so we can get more people out there. We will also be sharing stories during the day, and share the hashtag and join us if you can. It's going to be fun. We're going to raise lots of money. I'm very excited. Other than that, join us next week for the final Mysterium, again, 8 p.m. Monday, and follow our hashtag Mysterium RPG. But for now, I think it is time for our psychics to rest. So we will see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.